Hi, guy. We're here. It's another podcast. It's been a little bit since our last one. If you watch on YouTube, which not many of you do, which I don't care, we're still gonna upload it there anyway. It's been longer, but if you listen to our audio feeds, which go listen to the audio versions on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and all that stuff, you guys heard our last episode where we talked about a lot of stuff. Did we talk about a lot of stuff on that episode?
Yeah, that was I listened to that the other day. That was a fairly jam-packed one. Like, nothing that we spent hours on, like when we talked about Batman, the one before that, but we got through a lot
Nothing
of.
like when I ranked every Avatar episode.
Oh, that wasn't an official episode.
I know.
That was
Yeah.
just a separate stream. I wanted to ask you something. You said "hi, guy" when you started the stream, as if there's only one person watching us.
Mm-hmm.
What did you mean by that?
Oh, Harley, I'm so sorry to hear that. Hi guy is what's his name? Drew Gooden's intro to his YouTube videos. He just goes, "Hi guy."
Drew Gooden, the basketball player?
No. Why would I be talking about Drew Gooden, the basketball player?
Because that's the only Drew Gooden I've heard of. The former
Drew,
Kansas Jayhawk turned NBA player.
you know the road work ahead video?
No?
What?
You forget I'm not particularly internet savvy, at least
Nick,
not compared to you.
Nick, you've never heard road work ahead? Yeah, I sure hope it does.
Oh, that Vine? Okay.
Yes, him.
Okay, yeah, I saw that once or twice. Can't like envision that guy to you.
Oh
but
my goodness.
Sure.
What a classic video. Anyways, it's his YouTube channel.
Bobby's with me on this. Thank you, Bobby.
Bobby, but you're
Bobby
like
was
67.
Bobby was watching basketball in the first
Hey,
in the early
Joseph.
2000s.
Joseph turned off the Celtics and Nets for this. I'm very sorry.
Hey,
to hear
Joseph,
that.
how the Celtics doing? I can actually check ESPN before you tell me, Joseph. I'm sorry. Last I heard, the Celtics had a very slow start to the game.
That's
and my ESPN app is not refreshing now when I need it most.
ESPN? What does ESPN stand for? Entertainment Sports Programming Network?
You're probably right.
I don't know if that's correct.
I'm going to look it up.
That might be right.
Entertainment and Sports Programming Network, yeah.
Guys, I'm so good at this.
Have you seen the Adam Sandler film Blended?
Too many times, yeah.
I saw it once, and like one of the few things I remember is that he named his daughter Espen in that movie after ESPN.
Yeah.
Because of course he did. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah. He named it Espen.
I saw that movie in theaters.
Did I see that movie in theaters?
I wouldn't have normally, I wasn't planning to see it in theaters, but I was on a trip in Branson, Missouri with my family who are not particularly into movies, but they wanted to go see something for the whole family because we had nothing else to do that night. And they settled on Blended. I tried to go see Days of Future Past for a second time, but it wasn't going to fly.
Yeah.
That was my Blended story.
My Blended story, I can very well remember it, watching it at home, and then my dad recording it and then having it on a DVD that he would play, and then my dad watching that movie a lot because it was just always on.
Of all the movies, your dad was like, yeah, Blended.
He likes Adam Sandler a lot, so it doesn't have to be particularly good, but he'll watch it.
Is he the reason you've seen Jack and Jill?
I've seen it once, and I think they rented it one time, but it's not like they've seen it multiple times.
You just know the Dunkachino video really well.
Dunkachino, yes. I would be on the soccer field. This was
not an invite for you to sing the song.
No, I would be on the soccer field singing about the Dunkachino.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, fun fact, my same group of family I was just talking about that took us to see Blended in Christmas of, I don't know when, but I want to say maybe 2012. They tried to give me the hard sell on Jack and Jill as a good movie, and even at the age of 14, I did not believe them. I was not going to watch Jack and Jill, and I still have not.
I've seen it once, but I was too young to remember it at all. The only thing I can remember is Al Pacino is down bad for Jill.
Of course he is.
I think
that's funny, right?
I mean, like, that's all I can remember from it. Who was his wife in that movie?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, that's true. Why am I asking you?
Okay,
it's not Kate Beckinsale. Kate Beckinsale is Click.
That's Click.
Yeah.
Is it his actual wife as his wife in that movie?
I don't think his wife has ever actually been his wife.
Katie Holmes. It's Katie
Katie
Holmes.
Holmes.
Apparently.
Interesting choice.
I
Okay.
legitimately could not name you a Katie Holmes movie other than Batman Begins.
Let's see. Have I seen any other Katie Holmes movies? The Giver?
The Giver? Don't.
Yep. No.
Letterboxd
I
she's
wasn't
in
gonna say
Ocean's
it.
8.
Ocean's 8.
I think I watched that like last year for a second time. I think she's just a cameo. Yeah,
Oh,
she
thank you
plays
for
herself.
smoking. I've seen.
I haven't seen that.
Oh,
It's just Batman Begins and Ocean's 8, according to Letterboxd.
She's in
also
Scandal,
in
says
Logan
Edith.
Lucky, Phone Booth, The Ice Storm. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Muppets in Space, apparently she's in.
Yo, the Muppets. Yesterday, I got out of the shower and I was like, I'm in a Muppets mood. So I put on Man or Muppet. And I'm singing that while I'm like putting my clothes on. Goes very hard. What an existential song to be singing at close to midnight p.m. Yes, I said midnight p.m.
Midnight p.m.
That is
not
what
how
you
midnight
heard
works.
me say. Well, I said
that's
close
not how
to
midnight
midnight
works.
p.m.
So that would be in the p.m. close to midnight.
Yeah.
Okay. Katie Holmes is in a movie called Coda that came out a couple years ago. Not that one. This one, according to Letterboxd, a famous pianist at the twilight of his career, played by looks like Patrick Stewart, meets a free-spirited music critic who soon becomes his rock as his mental state deteriorates. Has an average rating of 2.8 on Letterboxd.
So it's still better than
Esposito's
last.
also in it. Giancarlo Esposito is the best. I love that guy.
Love that guy.
I still haven't seen the first 2 episodes of Better Call Saul yet. I feel bad about that.
I have not seen any of Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad.
Yeah, well, I expect this of you.
Yeah, just like I expect some things of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way we work.
I'm not gonna be that guy about Breaking Bad because I know those people as far as Breaking Bad go. But you should legitimately, really should watch Breaking Bad at some point.
It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I need to be in the right state to take on 6 seasons of a TV show.
Yeah.
That's
Better Call Saul,
long.
Yeah. Well, it's like 43 minutes. It's
still
hour long.
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen and like I would go through seasons of CW shows very quick when I was young, and stuff. So you give me a half-hour comedy like Barry or Ted Lasso, yeah, I'll do that one quick. But hour-long shows take me longer to get through in general because it's more time.
Yeah, I'm with you. At this point, the hour-long shows that I watch are ones that are grandfathered in from when I actually would occasionally watch TV. So Better Call Saul is one of those from like when I was actually watching more TV. I'm keeping up with that show. I'm going to watch it through till the end. If I end up watching this new Stranger Things season, then that's going to be a show that was also grandfathered in from when I used to watch TV. Ted Lasso is also, their episodes are getting pretty long. They were getting long last season, so it might actually be more of a 45-minute show now.
Yeah. You know what I have been going through though? MasterChef. So
I've been seeing you streaming this on Discord a lot.
Yeah, we're on episode 10 of 18 for this season. Yeah, because my TikTok was giving me a bunch of like Gordon Ramsay MasterChef videos, and I was like, you know what? MasterChef is on Hulu. Why don't I just watch it there? So I started MasterChef technically last week, but it really wasn't until like Saturday or Sunday, and we are almost done with the season. It's just so nice to watch. Food is comfort in general, so I like watching shows about food. Food Network was always one of my favorites growing up as a kid. So I'd watch that. I'd watch Cake Boss on TLC. Let's see. Rachel Ray, I watched a lot of Giada at Home. Diners, Dive-Ins, and Drives. Of course, you got to watch those.
Dive-Ins and Drives.
Yes, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. I hate that title. Guys Grocery Games, that's another good one. Chopped, Challenge, loved all of those stuff. So Steph saying, oh no, the MasterChef meta has spread to Discord. MasterChef is very good, and I like it very much, and it's made me very hungry.
I have never watched a Gordon Ramsay show, I'm pretty sure.
You should. MasterChef is a good one. If you want like drama, Hell's Kitchen is very dramatic. MasterChef is more, these are good chefs that are doing good stuff in a time limit, and in my opinion, it's a lot more heartwarming than something like Hell's
Mhm.
Kitchen, where it's very brutal. Um, Restaurant, what is it? It's not Restaurant Impossible. That's Robert Irvin.
Mhm.
He has another one where he goes into restaurants and he uh tries to reshape them and get them back on a good track, and that's another good one to watch.
So it's like bar rescue for restaurants.
Yes.
I've heard of bar rescue. That's all I have to add there.
Yeah, it's
I'm
basically
I'm on
him.
his Wikipedia now. Let me see. Let's see what shows he's got.
Yeah,
I have a list
Steph's
of all his television shows. Do you want to hear all these?
he always has
A
so
big
many.
a big list on Wikipedia. Steph is giving me the hard sell on Hell's Kitchen. I might watch it with Manny. I will only watch it with Manny because I get antsy watching shows like that by myself. I can't do it.
Mm.
Um, okay, so here we go. This is just the full list. Television shows of Gordon Ramsay according to Wikipedia. Boiling Point, Kitchen Nightmares, Gordon Behind Bars, Gordon Ramsay's Bank Balance, Gordon Ramsay Cook Along Live, Gordon Ramsay's Home Cooking, Gordon Ramsay's Ultimate Cookery Course, Gordon Ramsay's 24 Hours to Hell and Back, Gordon Ramsay Uncharted, Gordon's Great Escape, Hell's Kitchen UK, Hell's Kitchen US, Hotel Hell, MasterChef US, MasterChef Junior, Next Level Chef, Ramsay's Best Restaurant, Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, The F Word
Kitchen
UK,
Nightmares.
and The F Word US.
Kitchen Nightmares. That's the one.
That's the one you were thinking of?
Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking about.
Oh,
Because
okay.
no, Bobby, Restaurant Impossible is Robert Irvin, I believe.
Yeah, the dude with the huge arms.
Yeah, I have a photo with him.
That's all I know about him. Oh, cool. His wife is a wrestler, or she was a wrestler.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the whole list of Gordon Ramsay shows. I think Uncharted I've actually seen some of because my parents, I think, watch that. It's the show where he travels everywhere, I think. I'm guessing
Gotcha.
based on the title. I think it's on Nat Geo or something.
Yeah, I've never
Um,
seen it, but I've seen most of the other shows that you listed there. I
of
haven't
course
seen
you have.
all of them, but listen, Food Network was a staple. Okay.
It was a staple for my mother as well, but personally, I just can't sit through those shows. Like, I can watch, like, a segment of those shows, but if I can't sit through even a whole 22 minutes of an episode.
Oh,
Like,
you
they'll
think
invite
they're
me out to
22
see.
minutes?
Well, like your Food Network shows are usually a half hour. Like unless it's a competition game, they're like the regular Food Network shows are a half hour generally.
Yes. Yeah. Like Good Eats with Alton Brown, that's about a half hour, I believe,
Hmm.
each episode. Which Alton
Yeah,
Brown, another staple. I was very sad that I couldn't get to see him when he came down to my town. My friend
yeah.
didn't tell me about it. Him and his girlfriend went.
That
So
son of a bitch.
I was very hurt. Jacob, if you're watching this, I was hurt. Um but yeah, we've started off strong talking about food.
No, we've been talking about Adam Sandler, Katie Holmes, and MasterChef. That's what we've been talking about so far.
I still think that's a good way to start. MasterChef do
Okay.
go hard. Harley says it's a tobacco burst Telecaster with a maple neck. Speaking about maple, you like maple bacon? What do you like? What kind of bacon you like? You like maple? Do you like hickory smoked? Do you like maple syrup, or are you like more of the just store bought kind of syrup person?
I like maple syrup. I don't really buy it like my parents buy all the stuff. I don't really buy. At least, uh, I can't talk all of a sudden. Breakfast food wise, I don't eat a ton of breakfast food, so I usually just kind of eat stuff that we have on hand. I've never paid close enough attention to tell you what kind of bacon we eat. Um, Maple syrup, I know we have. We have some friend, like family friend in like New Hampshire or something, that sent us a couple bottles of his maple syrup, and it was really good. I do love maple syrup on pancakes and on waffles and stuff, so I do eat my fair share of maple syrup. As far as what kind of bacon I eat, I couldn't tell you that. Maple donuts, though, those go hard.
Now we're talking about donuts. A
I love
donut
donuts. A
is a
donut's
hole
hole
in
inside a
a
donut hole.
donut. Knives Out. Knives Out 2 is supposed to be coming out this year, right?
If Netflix is still a thing at the end of this year, because Netflix is going down the tubes, am I right, folks?
They lost a quarter of their subscribers in this last quarter. That's rough.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. They lost a quarter because
No,
hold on.
no, their stock plummeted 25%.
Yes, that's
They
what
lost 200,000 subscribers
Yes,
out
that's
of
what
like a couple
that's what
hundred
it
million
is.
that they have. Yeah, they're projected to lose like 2 million
2 million.
subscribers, I think, in the next quarter, which, I mean,
Yeah.
compared to their total subscriber base is not a ton, but like they see like all the stockholders see decline, and they think the shares are going down, or they think like Netflix is going down the tube, so the shares are going down.
Yeah. I
You said they
mean,
lost a quarter of their subscribers, and I'm like, what? Did I miss something?
no, a quarter of their shares. That's what I meant to
Yes.
say.
Yeah.
No, did you see
The
that
rich
stock
people are
graph?
paying less for Netflix now.
Did you see that
Did I
stock
what?
graph?
No, but I can imagine if it went down
Oh my
25%.
gosh, it was amazing. I mean,
Uh-huh.
like, not amazing because I don't want like Netflix to fail or anything like that. But looking at that stock graph was something so funny. Oh my goodness, you could just see the absolute moment when everyone freaked out. I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay.
There you go. Um, but yeah, poor Netflix. It's it's hard
No,
to be the best streaming service when every other streaming service is coming out and taking content from you.
it's also hard to be the best streaming service when all your content sucks.
Well, yeah, because all the other streaming services are taking it from you.
Yeah, but all the original, like, when's the last really good original they made?
I mean, I liked watching On My Block that ended. Sex
Never heard of this.
Education
I have
that
heard
is
of that.
also ending. I don't watch Bridgerton. Yeah, no, a lot of what Netflix produces is not for me. It's a lot of shovelware. But I
Yeah.
mean, they have to keep up with originals in order to keep up with the rest of the streaming services.
See, I honestly, I know we've talked about streaming before, so I don't want to talk people to death about streaming, but I honestly don't think much of their content actually drives subscribers toward toward them. We'll see when Stranger Things comes back if they have a little bump compared to the loss that they've had, but I really don't think any one thing matters toward subscribers. And I really don't think if they took away even like half of the total amount of original content they make, I don't think that would actually matter in terms of like if they made half as much stuff as they do now. I really don't think it would matter. But they throw a lot of money at all this stuff, so I think it would matter toward their bottom line. It would
Hmm.
probably help their bottom line in the long run if they didn't make so much content, because none of it sticks and none of it really translates into long-term revenue or growth for them. So I
Bobby
fail to
brings
see
up
the point in all the stuff they make.
Bobby brings up Squid Game. They are doing a lot more Korean based productions now.
Hmm.
The last couple of years that they've been doing originals is that they've had a lot more Korean based stuff. The other thing is that I feel like Netflix tries to be way more of a catch all than some of the other services. Like Disney Plus, families. Mostly it's families. HBO Max skews more adults, but there is, or like adults, I don't want to say like film bros, but they have a much more refined catalog uh, than something like Netflix because they have a lot of stuff for kids, a lot of stuff that's quote unquote like the Food Network stuff, the challenge competitions. They have the adult stuff, they have their movies, they have their animated shows, they have so much that they do to try to get as many people to watch their services. Whereas I feel like with HBO or with Disney, they aren't trying because they're like, we know what our market is. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah, yeah. Netflix. It felt like they sort of coasted on being the default for so long, and now that they actually have competition, it's starting to they're starting to be pushed back against them because I think people are like, we have so much other stuff, so much in a lot of cases better produced stuff with higher production value and more of a built-in audience. We can go elsewhere for that, and it doesn't help that Netflix just keeps raising their prices more and more every year.
Yeah, that's the main thing is that Netflix keeps raising their prices. Netflix might as well be run by Bob Chapek, raising the prices and then cutting features or cutting, uh, in this case, programming that people actually like. Because Netflix
Yeah.
has this thing where they'll end a show after 3 or 4 seasons, and that's it. Like no rhyme or reason. Because I'm now worried about Umbrella Academy, which is another one that I like watching. That might be ending after this season as well, because Netflix has a thing with all right, 3 seasons, 3 or 4 seasons is usually when they'll cut it off. I think Stranger Things is getting 5, right?
I
Because
think it's getting one more after this. Yeah.
yes, because season 4 is 2 parts, which I don't get. If they're releasing within like 2 months of each other, just release it
Hmm.
all at once. I don't get it, but whatever. And then yeah,
It's
season 5
like
is coming out.
that two-part thing is like Netflix's. own way of them doing sort of episodic stuff. They're doing 2 different binge blocks instead of 1. That's their version of episodic, I think, because they
I
refuse to just do
guess.
anything episodic.
Yeah. Patriot Act with Hassan Minhaj, which he's performing in my town tomorrow, and then another one in like the same state a couple hours away. He's performing tomorrow there, and I can't go, and I am so mad. It's either this week or next week, but I can't go, and I'm very much upset. But Harley brings up Glow as well. Yeah, there was Glow, but Patriot Act, that was weekly. Um, I think their kids shows they do weekly. I think He-Man might have been weekly. I'm
Okay.
not sure, but the ones that they choose to be weekly are very bizarre.
Yeah.
Stephanie brings up the UI. That's Netflix's best thing is their UI, and
Mhm.
it's patented, so no one can physically like take that Netflix UI and apply it to other things. So that's why that's why so many other UIs suck. Disney Plus is terrible. HBO Max isn't bad, but it's got its issues. Paramount Plus
HBO's issue is, like, everything but their UI, I feel like. The actual experience of watching stuff on their app sucks. It crashes all the time, in my experience.
doesn't crash for me nearly as much.
I don't
Um,
have the problems like, I don't have the problem as much as other people have. I literally, like, feel like every day I see someone somewhere complaining about HBO Max just working like dog shit for them. It doesn't happen for me that often, but it's happened enough, and I feel like every time I boot it up on my Xbox, it needs an update.
oh, mine never does. Mine
Hmm.
is usually always fine. Paramount Plus though, that's a
Mhm.
shit show. What a we talked about this before, but those subtitles on Xbox are horrific. I don't know.
They're small and they're black. How can you and you can't read those, especially, like, most of the stuff you have is gonna have, a lot of shadows. It's not gonna be particularly brightly lit, and you're not gonna be able to read the subtitles. And you can't put, like, a background layer on them, so it's, like, a black background with white subtitles, like normal subtitles are. You can't do that, at least not on the Xbox, so it's absolute garbage.
Yeah, because the PC one, when we were watching our Sonic commentary, which by the way, guys, go listen to our Sonic commentary. That's out. Uh, Paramount Plus was giving us a hard time with that in general, trying to get
Mhm.
all that stuff recorded. But the subtitles on PC you can customize. Like you can customize the font, you can customize the
Yeah.
size, you can customize the color, the background, no background, and it's just so weird that their Xbox version is literally size 12 new times new Roman font
Yeah.
black.
Uh-huh. Not that I would be watching much more on there than I do now, but it doesn't make me wanna use that service anymore.
Yeah, every time I want to watch something on Paramount Plus, I'm like, oh, with the subtitles.
Mhm.
It's it's annoying.
Yeah. I literally, some behind the scenes about that Sonic commentary. We have, like, 4 different audio files that we recorded throughout that because one of us kept, like, we went back and forth having issues with Paramount Plus. Mine got so bad that I literally just stopped. I turned off Paramount Plus. I went over to my Blu-ray shelf. I got the Blu-ray out, redeemed my digital code for that movie online, and then watched it on Apple TV because I could not get Paramount Plus to cooperate with me. It just wasn't working, like, at all. Like, using it on my Mac was absolute garbage. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, no, I hate it. And then there's Apple TV Plus, which I don't ever have issues with because it's Apple. They put a lot of money into their streaming service stuff. Um,
I've never had any issues with it, but I also don't use it that often. That's my stance with Apple at this point.
yeah, yeah. Netflix is still just the quote unquote best streaming service from a design standpoint. It's designed the best. I rarely have issues with Netflix. I Their UI is the best. Their algorithm for promoting content is not good though, but I
No.
think that's an issue that all streaming services have because Disney Plus has the same issue of they barely promote when things come out.
Mhm.
Uh, HBO Max, I don't ever really notice if they promote when things come out, other than I know when it's coming. So like Barry comes out on Sunday, so I know that that's gonna be on HBO Max that night. the Batman just came out on there, so I already know about that. But outside of that, any like news shows, unless you're one of the top tiers, you're not gonna really get that promoted, in my opinion. Like Cooking with Selena Gomez is not gonna get the same amount of hype as The Batman by Matt Reeves.
And it shouldn't it?
I mean, have you seen that show?
No.
Nick, you're missing out. Cooking with Selena Gomez is something. Selena
Okay.
Gomez is something. All right, sorry. No, yeah. In general,
There's
streaming services have become television cable, which we all knew was going to happen eventually.
mhm.
Pick and choose the ones that you like wisely. Also, just cancel and then re-up for the month when your show comes back. And
Yeah.
that's really all there is to it.
Yeah, like my Netflix right now, if I were paying for Netflix, I wouldn't be paying for Netflix is what I would say. My parents have Netflix, and so we share that. So if they get rid of theirs, I'm not gonna put up a fuss, and I probably won't re-up until like February next year when I can watch the couple Oscar movies that they'll probably have. That's pretty much it.
Gotcha. Yeah, we still have it because I do watch stuff on there every now and then, but
Yeah,
it's
I'll
one of
occasionally watch stuff on there.
yeah.
I tried to
That's
watch. Oh, there's. I had my first ever really bad experience with them. Oh yeah, a couple weeks ago I watched Ali, the Michael Mann movie, and it was on Netflix. So I tried watching it on Netflix, and then 3 minutes in, I thought it was a stylistic choice because the sound was still going, but the picture faded out, and I waited about 7 minutes with the musical montage of that opening in the background before I realized I don't think it's supposed to be like this because we're now into regular dialogue scenes. And it lasted that way for the rest of the movie. I skipped ahead to see if it ever came back. So for whatever reason, their file for Ali just didn't have picture after the first 3 minutes, which was bizarre. Luckily, it was also on Hulu, and then I was able to just go over there and watch it there. But yeah, that was my first ever bad experience with Netflix.
No, I had a very similar experience when I watched the Vince Vaughn and Haley Steinfeld movie Term Life. I don't
Uh huh.
the same thing happened to me where like the movie was playing perfectly fine, right? And then the screen just went black and I'm like, there should be like I was able to hear audio but didn't see any visual.
Yeah.
And then it was like that for the whole rest of the movie. So I just watched the rest of it on my phone on Netflix. It was fine there, but on my
Uh huh.
Xbox for some reason it just glitched out.
Yep, mine was on my Xbox too. I legitimately thought because like Michael Mann does some weird stuff stylistically sometimes, and the music was going really slow in the background. I'm like, this might be a stylistic choice, but once it actually like because it went on for another like 7 minutes of song, it was a long time. I legitimately thought that it might have been a stylistic thing for a long time. If it were anything else, I would have called it as an issue like immediately.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's a
Bobby
bit
says,
bizarre.
"Term Life, that's a movie."
Yeah, it came out in 2016. It's a tight 93, starring Vince Vaughn, Haley Steinfeld, Bill Paxton, Jonathan Banks, and Mike Epps. What
What a
a
cast!
what a cast indeed.
R.I.P. Bill Paxton. I miss him.
I miss
We
Bill
need more.
Paxton too.
I almost said we need more Bill Paxton, as if that could ever actually happen. Um,
Yeah,
I love Bill Paxton in pretty much anything.
Bill Paxton's great.
He's an absolute treasure in Edge of Tomorrow,
He is a treasure in Edge of Tomorrow. He was
as he is in
also
most things, but especially Edge of Tomorrow.
he also elevated the hit ABC show Agents of Shield because he came on as one of the mentors for the Shield agents, and then that was how they revealed that Hydra had infiltrated Shield. Back when they were
Mm,
trying to keep up with the movies, and then at a
yeah,
certain point they just said, "Nah, we're just not going to anymore."
that was probably for the best. They had their devoted fan base. Like at that point, just cater to that group of fans that you have.
Well, yes. By the time that they stopped, they had their fan base. When the whole Hydra stuff happened, that was still the first season, and it was not well received. And then
Yeah,
not Bill Paxton, uh,
Bill something.
Remy from Ratatouille,
Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt. Sorry, it was Pat. Patton Oswalt. He was on Agents of Shield for a while as well. He
I
played
did
a
hear about that.
he played like twins and triplets. So it's kind of like
Okay,
when you play Gears, like you have the Carmines and stuff. He played a series of brothers that all looked the same. The brothers.
they're
Uh,
brothers.
they all looked like Patton Oswalt, and he would play
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I think like retroactively, I think I heard Kyle MacLachlan was in it here and there.
He was in there.
Um,
He played Chloe Bennett's father.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't hear much else about that show. I had my roommate for my first couple years of college, who I knew in high school. He was a big fan of that show, and so I heard little bits about it from him. And he tried to give me the hard sell on that show, and I'm like, nope, dude. I watched 3 episodes at the height of my Marvel fandom, and I thought it was terrible. I'm not gonna try and get through a couple seasons of that until it allegedly gets good. I just can't do it.
No, that's fair. I'm not gonna make you watch it. Would never make you do that. Yeah, Haley
Harley's
Atwell also showed up a couple episodes.
in Agents of Shield as like
Yeah,
old her.
because they did like flashbacks to the Howling
Oh, they
Commandos.
did flashbacks. Okay.
Yeah, so you'd have her there. You'd have I forgot his name, but he was in Sonic, and we mentioned him. He played Dum Dum Dugan.
Neil McDonough.
Neil McDonough. He showed up for a couple episodes as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Harley said, "When White Chin Man turned out to be Hydra, it was pretty cool." Not gonna, it did. It was pretty cool.
Who we're talking about here?
His name is Brett Dalton. He's an actor.
He was Jasper.
What?
What character are we talking about here?
No, this is for Agents of Shield stuff, not movie stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, that supporting cast was actually pretty good. Sorry, that's the last thing I'll say. The supporting cast for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was actually pretty good. And some of the characters got done dirty because they were like, all right, you're going to go have a spin-off show. And then it never happened. And then they never brought Ghost Rider back, even though Gabriel Luna did an awesome job and he still wants to play Robbie Reyes. I love Gabriel Luna.
I don't think I know Gabriel Luna.
Terminator Genisys.
Didn't see it.
Okay. Well, he was the Terminator in that.
I believe you. Let me look him up, see if I know him from literally anything.
Let's see.
Gabriel Luna. I've seen him in 0 things on Letterboxd.
Dang.
He was actually in Terminator Dark Fate, not Genisys.
Oh, Dark Fate. My bad. Yes, wow. Genisys was the Emilia Clarke one, right?
Yeah. With Jai Courtney and Jason Clarke, I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a movie called Balls Out.
I hope he got paid for that.
Let's see. Balls Out is a 2014 American live-action animated sports comedy film directed by Andrew Disney, based on a script by Bradley Jackson. This film stars... Okay, I don't care.
Kate McKinnon and Beck Bennett are in it.
Yeah, I see that. And Jake Farrell.
Lacey.
What?
Jake Lacey from season 9 of The Office is the lead, apparently.
Yeah.
Clint Howard's in it, but Ron Howard's nowhere to be seen. What's he doing there?
Wow.
I thought it was funny when he popped up in Solo.
Yeah. Ooh, brothers that show up in sci-fi stuff. I always like because oh man, here we go. We're talking about the Whedon. That's true. By the way, Joseph brought up a good point. He said Gabriel Luna was cast along Pedro Pascal for Last of Us. Yes, he's playing his brother.
They're brothers.
It's not Billy Baldwin. One of the Adam Baldwin. He's in Firefly.
Baldwin, Stephen Baldwin. Okay.
Yeah, Adam Baldwin's in Firefly. Absolutely love his character. His character's name is Jane. Okay. He's in love with a gun called Vera.
Okay.
That episode in general, not my favorite. But I don't know if you've ever seen that hat. It's like an orange and yellow beanie. No? Anyways.
No, I don't think so.
Anyways, it's a classic hat. Anyways, this is just me saying that Adam Baldwin was good in Firefly. I haven't seen him in anything else. I know that he still does TV and stuff. But he was good in Firefly. I liked his character. Fuck Joss Whedon.
I'm actually looking up. I wonder if he was in ODST because they got like Nathan Fillion and also 1 or 2 other people to be in ODST.
He has done a couple video games, I think. Let's see. Adam Baldwin.
ODST cast. Nathan Fillion, Trisha Helfer, Adam Baldwin. Yeah, he's Dutch in ODST.
There you go.
Alan Tudyk's also in there. Nolan North. Wow. I didn't actually realize they had that.
That's a good cast.
Yeah, that's a good cast.
He's in
Nathan
Mass
Fillion,
Effect
Trisha
as well.
Helfer, Adam Baldwin, Alan Tudyk, Nolan North. That's a pretty good top 5 there.
That's a very good cast right there.
I honestly don't think I knew Alan Tudyk was the voice of Mickey in ODST.
Damn, they got 3 of the Firefly cast to be in ODST.
Yeah,
Alan Tudyk.
yeah. That's like criticism I've heard about ODST is that they tried to make it like Firefly kind of because they just got a bunch of that cast in there.
I mean, Outer Worlds is Firefly the video game. They even
Is it?
reference Firefly. Because there's a part in Outer Worlds where you're carrying cows, right? But one of the episodes of Firefly is them transporting cows, and the bay in the Outer Worlds on that ship that you have is literally the same bay as the Firefly one. So they made a reference to that. I think the ship itself is literally the Serenity. Let's see. Outer Worlds ship. Because it looks very similar. Okay, it's not. I lied. It does not look similar at all. But there are a couple things there that look kind of similar. Mainly the engines on the back and then the front of it look kind of similar to the Serenity.
Oh, Harley, you do raise a good point. Nolan North does play Romeo, who is a black guy in ODST.
Oof.
Didn't even know that. Didn't know Nolan North was in the game.
Yeah, neither did I. I mean, Nolan North just has a career that spans so long and so many characters.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to keep up with. Oh, yeah, that was Nolan North.
Okay, so he is Uncharted guy, right? He's Nathan Drake?
Yes, he is Nathan Drake.
And Troy Baker is Joel.
Yes, Troy Baker is Joel. He also plays Nathan Drake's brother in Uncharted 4.
Okay, that's right, yeah.
But like Troy
those
Baker...
Those are the two Naughty Dog guys I think of, and I can never remember which is which.
Troy Baker also does a lot of Joker stuff.
Yeah, he was Joker in Arkham Origins.
Yeah, he was Joker in Arkham Origins, the Lego games as well. He was Loki in the Lego games. So if you see something that's animated, and it doesn't promote Mark Hamill as Joker, probably like 75% of the time it'll be Troy Baker doing that voice for Joker.
So I'm on IMDb falling down a rabbit hole here. So I got to Jen Taylor from ODST. I didn't know she was Peach. She's been Peach like most of the last 20 years.
Peach?
As in Peach from Mario.
Okay. I did not know that either.
And also the voice of Toad. Because I saw a credit for Toad. Sunshine. It just says Toads for her for Sunshine. So yeah, she's been Peach in like the majority of the Mario games of the last 20 years. And actually, even before Halo, she was in some of the N64 games. Pretty much since Peach had a voice, it's been Jen Taylor. I never knew that.
I absolutely love that. I love Toad in general. Anything that's like this song, but if it was sung by Toad, I click on it because it's just so funny to me. You haven't seen Moana, huh? Never mind. They're like, if Toad sang How Far I'll Go from Moana, it is just screaming, and I love it. You should watch Moana. It's good.
I've heard it's good. It's on my Disney Plus watch list, which is the strangest place in the world, my Disney Plus watch list. There's so much random shit in there that I'm never going to watch.
Yeah. We've had this conversation about Moana before, but you should watch it. It's good.
I should.
Maybe that's what you watch tonight after the podcast.
Maybe. We'll see how late we go. Yes, Harley, we didn't know that, okay? I feel like I did know that, but I'd forgotten it. Or I at least thought that she had voiced Peach in something. I didn't realize she was the predominant voice of Peach for the last 20 years. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, I don't really keep up with all the Peach actors, so I was unaware of that. I mean, there's only one, so...
Well, these can't be all the Mario games in the last 20 years. There's like a 4-year gap where she's not Peach here, for whatever reason.
Yeah. No, but in general, voice actors, guys.
Harley, I don't even remember life before Halo, okay? Neither does Manny.
Yeah,
I was 3. It was right after 9/11, which I don't remember. Manny was 4 months old.
Yeah. So I was barely old enough for Halo. I'm only twee. What's the movie?
I don't know.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid. What a shame.
I watched that was maybe the most disappointing movie I've ever seen. Honestly, that was like the height of my Wimpy Kid fandom, and I watched that movie. I was so excited to finally get around to it, and it was bad. 12-year-old me at least thought it was bad.
I say that's rewatch it.
I was gonna say that's one where weirdly I might actually like it more than I did when I was a kid.
I would say I think Project Rules is still the best. I rewatched them
Okay.
all, but Roger Rules is the best of them, and I think it's the best book. So
Did you see the animated one that came out a couple months ago?
no, I didn't. I said that I was going to, and then I never did.
I was gonna give it a shot, then I heard it was like, fine.
Yeah, I heard it was just all right, and I'm like, oh, it kind of sucks. I heard a lot of the
Yeah, I
main
think
issue was the animation, and I'm like, oof.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my issue back then was like I absolutely couldn't see any of those people. Like it's not fair because of the art style of those books, but I couldn't see any of the actors as those characters really when I was 12 or whenever that first movie came out. I think I
Um.
would be over that at this point.
Yeah, I think you would too.
Not gonna watch it, but I think it would be.
I mean,
I think I'd be
maybe.
more appreciative now.
Yeah. No. Once again, Steve Zahn is just killing that movie. He's amazing. Especially in Roger Rules. But no, that's
Sorry to
fair.
interrupt, Bobby. I'm seeing a Masked Singer thing on my timeline. Former mayor of New York, was he tonight or is that an older one? That's all I'm gonna ask. We can move on.
Okay. Speaking of tonight or older one, I don't really know how that's a segue, but we both had been playing a game for the last couple of weeks that I was particularly very excited for. Uh, it was my most anticipated game of last year, and then it got delayed. We have that on the air of me saying it was my most anticipated game of last year, and then
Very
it got
sad.
delayed. But we're of course talking about Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. It was finally released, and I could not be happier. But
You could not be happier.
before I gush, I want to hear Nick talk about it and his experience with the game.
Are you sure you want to?
Yes.
Okay. First off, Bobby says yes, it was tonight because I remember seeing this like months ago when they taped this of when it happened. I heard about this, and apparently they just aired it tonight. Ooh, that sounds awkward. Uh, you guys can look it up what happened tonight if you're curious. Anyway, Lego Star Wars. Um, so I was anticipating this game. I was like fairly excited for it, not obviously on the level of you. Um, my usual Lego thing is every few years I'll get the itch to play a Lego game. I'll wait for a sale and I'll buy one of them for $5 or $10. I don't think I've ever paid full price for one up until now, and I paid for the deluxe edition. I think so. It was $70, I think, and I got like Mando and other character packs and stuff like that.
And two more
So I
character
was
packs came out yesterday as well.
Oh, didn't even hear about that. Cool. Yeah, so I was looking forward to it, and it was kind of weird to start because I expected it to be different than what the old Lego games were, but I didn't expect it to be as different as it was. One second. Didn't expect it to be quite as different as it was from a gameplay perspective. The thing that I had to get used to, it's not necessarily that it's worse, it's just that it's very different, is that this is much less of a puzzle game, and it's much more of just kind of a straightforward action game with occasional basic Lego elements to it. It's really not as much you break stuff and then you figure out how to build stuff. You have to figure out how to use all your abilities to get through these puzzles. There's elements of that, but it's not nearly as much of the focus as it was in all the older games. Or I shouldn't say all the older games, but because I haven't played anything I would say from the past 5 years. But as Lego as I remember them, this doesn't feel quite like that. It's still got can you still hear me? Uh-oh.
Yes, no, I hear you.
Okay. Oh man, it like looked like Marinette went out for a second. That was scary.
No, you're
Anyway,
good.
I totally lost my train of thought.
You're talking about the
Crap.
puzzles.
Yeah, so it's less puzzle focused than I wanted it to be. That was kind of the stuff I always enjoyed, figuring out different combinations of characters, what abilities worked here, what abilities worked there. Again, there's still elements of that, but it isn't as much the focus anymore. And I don't necessarily hate that it's different. It just doesn't feel as interesting to play for me from time to time, especially because a lot of the gameplay feels padded. Like when you're exploring the hub worlds, different hub worlds as you're getting to and from your missions, like the when you're orbiting the planets and you're going through space, that stuff is fun. I think all the vehicle stuff in this game is tremendous. I love flying around. I love driving around. Anything I can do with a vehicle, I love. But when you're just kind of walking from point A to point B to get to your destination to actually get to the next mission, it just kind of feels like padding. Even though they do have to play out bits of the story, so you know the context of what's happening next. But there's really not much interesting going on. It's a lot of just walking around, punching stuff so you can get coins, and if you want to explore to get the big unlockable, which I think they're called kyber bricks, you can do that. But at least in my experience, I don't find that stuff particularly compelling. I've played through, I think, 6 of the 9 movies. I have kind of went in a weird order. I have Return of the Jedi, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker left. Um, but it's been getting better as I've gone, I can say. After Phantom Menace, which is what I started with, I was feeling really weird about the game, and I was kind of worried I wouldn't like it, but it got good to me, and I can firmly say I'm enjoying it now. I think I played it for like 15 hours. I don't know how much of the post game I'll actually play. I'll probably mess around with free play a little bit like I always do, but all in all, I think it's solid. It's just different than what I was expecting, and at first that felt like a disappointment, but I've settled down by now, is what I can say.
Good to hear. Now, y'all ready to hear me gush about? No, I'm kidding. Um, I was very excited for this game. Um, the plan was to start it on Monday. Then they said, midnight, and I'm like, no. Then we were like, all right, so you guys have to play it on Tuesday. We're like, all right, cool. So it'll open up at midnight, right? They're like, no, it'll open at 9 a.m. PST, and I'm like, sorry, what? So while console players were able to preload the game and play it the day of, or the day before, because you could set it to New Zealand and you'd be local time there, so it'd already be the next day. I had to wait way longer than I wanted to play the game. And then I played, I think, like 20 hours that first week. I really enjoy it. I like the gameplay. I had expected going into it that it wouldn't be as puzzle focused. One of the first things that I liked was the camera. I liked where the camera is placed. Not all the time. There are issues where it gets into a really weird spot and I don't like it. But a lot of the time, I do like the new angle for the camera. It's much more third person, and it just looks better, in my opinion. I think the graphics, this new engine, though it gave them a lot of trouble, I think it was for the better. I think this new engine is just awesome. It looks amazing. Um, I think I agree with you that Phantom Menace was kind of a not a slog to get through, but it was like, okay, it's Phantom Menace. Let's see where we're going with this. There was one mission in Attack of the Clones that just completely tanked my PC, and that's been happening for everyone. One of the missions is just not optimized, but I'd say pretty much
Mm.
everything after that was just like smooth sailing, enjoyable stuff. I think the trench run is done really well in this game. Like you
Mhm.
said, the vehicle combat and the way vehicles handle in this game, I really enjoy. I don't agree with the padding stuff because I think you can just easily beeline through all of it and not worry about any of that. To me, it doesn't feel like padding. I've seen people say that it felt really short since the missions are only about 30 minutes max, would you say?
Oh, most of them feel like 5 to 10. Most of them feel much shorter than that.
Most
There's
of
a
them are
couple
close
that
to
feel
like
long.
15, I would say.
Yeah,
I would say on
they
average
feel
15 to 20 minutes. Some of them do get up to 30.
yeah,
Obviously,
some of
if
them
you're,
are a little longer.
yeah,
Yeah, and they feel like they might not be as short as I say they are, but they feel shorter than again what I'm used to in Lego games because the actual missions themselves feel like they're shorter because I think the main focus of this game is on all the exploration, the open world stuff because they give you I don't know a couple dozen worlds to explore between all these movies and
23.
um how many?
23.
Okay. Yeah, so they give you that. You can orbit the space of each of their planets. You can do space battles. You can explore. A lot of the planets have different environments within the planets for you to explore. So you can find all those collectibles. I feel like that's the focus of the game more than the actual missions within the movies themselves.
Which I'm not necessarily going to disagree with, but I think if you look at something like the Lego Harry Potter games, those remind me a lot of what this game is because Lego Harry Potter has a lot of the same things of all right, there's 5 missions per movie. They're going to be 10 to 15 minutes each and then you're just going to keep going through Hogwarts and that's how you're going to get it because both of the games have those sections where it's not technically a mission but you're progressing the story forward, like you'll get cutscenes, you'll go to a specific area, you'll have to do a certain task, but it doesn't count as a specific mission. Lego Harry
Mhm.
Potter and this one have the same mechanic and the same gameplay loop. So I guess for me, I like coming off of playing that game recently, it felt perfectly fine to me. But I can see like how if you've played something like the first Lego Marvel Superheroes or Lego Batman 2 or 1, it might feel a little bit different, but to me, I didn't really have an issue with it. Um, Phantom Menace, I think, did feel those are the missions, in my opinion, that felt the quickest. Because the
Yeah.
first one
It
is,
felt like barely any gameplay in Phantom Menace. It felt like, and it's weird because you can start with either of the three first entries in the trilogies, but Phantom Menace is the only one that feels like it's the tutorial
yeah, I'll
going through
agree with
it.
that. Yeah, something about
It's
Phantom Menace, and it's
very
probably
strange.
because there isn't a whole lot in Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
I
They
think
were struggling to get to 5 missions. There's not like 5 action sequences they can do.
no,
They
there
pretty much
isn't.
had to separate all the stuff happening in the third act make each of them a mission. That's pretty much what they had to do.
Yeah, third act has what, 2 missions? 3 missions. It has 3 missions. Yeah,
Um,
because the first one
yeah,
is
3.
is escaping the big fish. There's always a bigger fish. The next one is the Boonta race. The third
Yeah,
one
third one,
is,
I think it's
I
the
think it's
the
small.
lightsaber.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
small.
the
Then
fourth one
it's,
is the Jar Jar one with the
oh yeah,
big
yeah, the
army
Gungan
battle.
battle, and then the last one is with Annie, and when you
Yeah,
take down the ship. So
yeah.
yeah, Phantom Menace, I think, just doesn't play well, regardless of if it
Mhm.
had been more focused, I guess is what I'm saying. But the other
Yeah.
movies, in my opinion, play perfectly
Yeah.
fine. Attack of the
Mhm.
Clones was
Yeah.
fine.
Attack of the Clones is just structured to be like serialized adventure with pretty much nothing happening in between anyway, so it
Yeah,
kind of works out, like the mission structure works out for that movie in particular.
yeah. I still think the best one was A New Hope. Something about that game, something about that section of levels, in my
Mhm.
opinion, just stands out as the
Yeah.
best.
There was one mission in New Hope that I didn't like, which was when you have to repair the Falcon at Mos Eisley before you take off.
Yeah,
That
that
one
one
felt
was
like a
just kind
drag to
of
me.
that one was just kind of meh. But
What was the Attack of the Clones mission that tanked your PC?
the Droid Factory,
Okay.
that is the only
What?
mission that everyone has reported that
Really?
it's just that mission. The rest of the missions run perfectly fine, buttery smooth, not an issue. That one ran out like 12 frames a second. It was bad. It was very
Odd.
rough.
That's something they can just hopefully patch at
Yeah,
some
yeah.
point.
They have a patch coming out.
Okay.
Which, speaking about bugs, I have not been susceptible to many bugs. I think my game has crashed like once or twice, but I wasn't even really playing it at the time, so it's not like I was in the middle of something and I lost a lot of project. I was probably just standing around not doing anything. But apparently a lot of people have experienced a lot of bugs, which I was not
Okay.
aware of. So
Um,
yes.
yeah, the only bugs I can really think of are sometimes when I'm like going to press B to pull down a lever, sometimes my characters will just be kind of stuck for 5 to 10 seconds before they actually can initiate the animation. It's happened a couple times for me. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Harley says, personally, I think Lego games could use more sequences of walking and talking down empty hallways and staying in front of semicircles.
They have more of that in this game than you'd think, Harley. Again,
They
a lot of the kind of transition points are
going to
just a lot
Camino
of
was, when you get to
oh god.
Camino, that was the one where I'm like, oh, okay, can we just speed this up?
Yeah.
I don't really like that part. I think
Yeah.
that's the only one I can remember happening. Um, when you go with Ben to Mos Eisley, didn't really care
Yeah. You
about.
got to walk through to the bar and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I did like how they introduced Jedi mind tricks in that specific point when they're like, all right, hold Y to get a Jedi mind trick on this person. I don't use them very often, but I like
I don't
the
either.
attention to detail that they put into it. That's the main thing that I can praise the game, is that there is
Mhm.
a lot of stuff in the game. Um, Now you
There's
have
a lot of stuff. There's a lot of love put into it. Like
yes,
there's good attention to detail for sure.
yes, because now, like, on top of redefining Lego gameplay, because now they have like combos, they switched up the way that characters work in here as well. You're missing a couple things like the customizer, which is kind of sad, but I think all in all, I'm fine with it. I still want it to be in the game eventually, but I don't. I miss it, but it's not going to be a selling point for me of, oh, no customizer, I'm gone, because that was a thing with a lot of people. But on top of that, they just have so much love on each of these planets. One of them that I really enjoyed exploring was Canto Bight. I don't know why. I like just hanging out there. I think it's cool the way that the map is actually structured, with the beach, and then you have the casino and the way that all that stuff works. Um, all the planets, Coruscant is awesome to go through. I loved hanging out on Coruscant. Yavin 4 has a lot of complexity to it as well. Exegol. I got to Exegol and I thought, okay, so this is all it's gonna be. No. I dropped at some point and there's an entire underneath area, and then there's a bunch of different paths in Exegol that lead to other parts of the underneath. And I was like, whoa, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. So
Mhm.
all that stuff is there. I think the Lego humor in this one actually really shines,
Yeah.
compared to some of the other games. There's some really good moments in here. One of them had me laughing out loud. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that was a really funny one. There's one point where Padme says, "Were you dreaming about sand?" He's like, "Yes, it was horrible." Um, when Rey hears the Jedi at the end, one of them is Anakin going, "I don't like sand." So
Yeah.
there's stuff like that. There's one that's been going around about Obi-Wan and C-3PO when they're in A New Hope, and a stormtrooper says, "Maybe it was just another drill," and they do a slow pan to C-3PO, and he has a drill in his hand, and it's rumbling. And
Yeah.
so I think the humor in this one actually is pretty on point compared to some of the others. Um, but yeah, I have really enjoyed it. I do wish that we had Clone Wars stuff. I'm always gonna miss Clone Wars stuff, but I understand it's the Skywalker Saga. They want to do this. That's perfectly fine by me. I don't need it in this game. That's, I think, the main thing that I can say about it is that there's not something that stands out to me as saying I need this in this game. The game was
Mhm.
delayed 3 years, worked on another engine. A lot of people left. A lot of staples of Lego left this game for reasons such as crunch and bad workplace environment, which is completely understandable. They pushed a lot of their workers to the edge with this game. I hope that they are having a long break from this, and they should be very proud of the game that they produced, is my take. I very much recommend it, but obviously, if you like a Lego game or if you don't.
Yeah, I would say so. And it feels like our opinions with this are in line with how we usually feel. I generally like them, don't never quite love them, and that's kind of how I feel about this one. You are a much bigger fan than I am, and you can tell that our opinions on this game reflect that. That's pretty much all I can say. It's fun. I would personally suggest getting it on sale. I think I said to you at one point that I don't know if I'll get $70 worth out of this. I think ultimately I will. Um, but it's just not in terms of like entertainment per minute for me. It's not up to the level that I would personally want, I guess. Because again, there's a lot of moments where I'm just walking around, which I get a little annoyed by, but otherwise, like it's really solid overall.
Yeah, and maybe it's because I have played a lot of Lego games. Hold on. Maybe it's because I have played a lot of Lego games that I'm used to just walking around and going hunting for bricks or for like those kinds of things. But I completely understand like why it would bother someone. It's
Yeah.
not like a God of War or something where you're just always doing something. There are those downtimes, but I think in those times you can have just cool moments of, man, look at that thing. That's cool that they have that in here. There. Oh,
Hmm.
one last thing that I'll mention. Uh, when you get into a boss fight and it'll say like Darth Vader and then the Urabesh underneath,
Yeah.
though the Orbesh actually has different messages. So the first time that you fight Sidious, I think in Revenge of the Sith, it'll say, "I am the Senate." Then you go
Oh, yeah,
to
I've heard about all these.
yeah. Then you go to Empire and it'll say something else, and then you'll go to Rise of Skywalker and it says, "Not this guy again." So I
Hmm.
want to go through and and see all those messages, um, and see what they say, because that's a really cool detail that, I mean, it's just cool. It's a little thing,
Yeah.
but it means a lot to people
Yeah,
that
it's
enjoy
it's
Star
detail
Wars.
and it's yeah, it's detail and it's fun. Like
It's love.
that's what
That's the
yeah.
main thing I can say, is that it's love, and you can feel the passion in the game at every step, in my opinion.
Yeah, this game feels made with love in a way that I haven't felt in a Lego game in a while, I would say. Because, there's that point in like late 2000s, early 2010s when there were so many Lego games, and I haven't played a lot of them, but I'm sure at that point a lot of those were not necessarily made with love. Like
The
The
last
development of
one,
this one
yeah.
was, like, so troubled and all that, that I feel like the people who actually stayed on for this game were really, really passionate about it.
The last one I can remember having this much love was the first Lego Marvel game.
Mm,
Um, Lego Batman 2 is pretty good as well, but I think something about working with that Marvel license and just having those characters in specific, I felt way more like, oh, these are people that really like this product. Because it wasn't like
mhm.
Avengers, not Marvel's Avengers, which is a shit show. Lego Marvel's Avengers, where they did
Yeah.
a couple of those movies. I didn't really care for that one, but that was one where I'm like, all right, cool. So they got a contract to do this, and that's what they're doing. I didn't feel it like I did with that one. But yes, this one is definitely the most that I have felt in a long time.
Yeah. I think the point, back when they were making a lot of these games where I officially felt like they were kind of jumping the shark was Pirates of the Caribbean, I think.
I thought you were gonna say Lego Indie 2.
Well, I didn't play Lego Indie 2. I played the first one, which
Yeah,
I remember
first
really
one's good.
liking. That was around the time I watched all those movies for the
Yeah,
first time.
no, Lego Indie
Yeah,
1 is good.
Pirates of the Caribbean was one that I remember, like, barely hearing anything about. I don't even know when it came out exactly, but yeah, that felt like the one that was, like, one game too many at that time.
Yeah, they have a lot of games. They have a lot
They
of
do. We
games.
did we did a Lego tier list, I think, on that
We
stream a
did.
couple weeks ago,
Yeah, and I
and I've
went.
already forgotten a lot of the games that were on that list.
There's a lot of like DS games and stuff that
Yeah.
I personally don't count because I'm like, is it a I don't say like mainline TT Lego game, but is it one that plays like this one or
Mhm.
like Lego City Undercover? Like that's perfectly fine. It was on a Wii U, but it plays like quote unquote a normal Lego game.
Yeah.
I was about to say speaking about Lego games, the metaverse, but I'm not going to.
Ew.
What I will say is that Kirby, Kirby, he's the star of the show. We both played some
Kirby,
Kirby as
Kirby, Kirby.
well. I'll let
Some
you
Kirby.
talk more about that because I have only played the first world. I enjoy it very
Okay.
much. I think it's very cute and wholesome, and it just brought me a lot of joy and energy to play through a Kirby game like this, and I enjoyed it very much. I like a lot of the powers in it. I like the challenges, so I think it's a very nice, just chill, relax. You're playing Kirby kind of game, you know?
Mhm. I'm with you. I reported back to this, I think, probably around the point that you're at when we did our last episode. And the other night, I finally beat the game. And what I can say is that this game was a. I can't talk all of a sudden. This game was a blast all the way through. That's what I can say. Um, I think it gets better as it goes. There's a couple points where it feels um, a bit repetitive. I feel like you fight a lot of the bosses multiple times, not even like in the boss rush mode, which they do have, but like even within the game itself. I think there's a couple points where you encounter some of the bosses a couple times too many. But even with that, it feels really well paced. There isn't an abundance of levels. I think on that episode I said there were like 6 to 8 levels per world. I don't think it's ever gets up to that much. I think it's like 4 to 6. It's probably excuse me, 4 to 6 is probably more in line with what you usually get. But you get little side levels where you focus on one power up and you go through a series of challenges with that power up, and then you can earn points toward the shop in your hub world so you can upgrade all your power ups. So it's a really fun gameplay loop, and you also have a lot of leveling up and stuff that you can do. And some of the abilities you get when you level up each of your power ups, like those get really cool. And it's just really satisfying to go into any gameplay scenario and play them, and also figuring out what works best in certain situations, because there are a lot of levels where you're kind of free to use whatever power up you want, especially before boss fights. They will leave them all right there for you, and you get to choose from them. There are a couple boss fights where the abilities I chose were not doing so well, so when I died or whatever, I would go back and I'd try a different ability, and I realized that, oh, this works against this boss because it has this weakness and stuff like that. It's not groundbreaking stuff, but it's enough variety that I think it becomes really enjoyable, even in spite of the fact that the bosses can get kind of repetitive sometime. And that, again, it's not really reinventing the wheel, but it's just, you get choices. You can choose how you approach any situation. You can hold on to your power up from the last level, or you can spit it out and you can swallow another enemy to get a new power up, or whatever one that they have. So it's really enjoyable. I think it's paced incredibly well. You don't have too many levels, so you can always feel like you're still moving. There isn't really a point in the game where I feel like it dips. Usually in any game, you'll get that section that you're not as big a fan of. Like in Mario platformers, to me, it's always the desert world that I like the least. And there's a desert world, I think, in this game, and I enjoyed that perfectly fine. Um, I think on the last episode I said it was more of a platformer, but it's pretty much just kind of a 3D action game. There's some platforming elements, but because you're Kirby, you get like 15 jumps before you start sinking. So the actual timing and placement of jumps doesn't really matter. So it's less of a platformer in that regard. But the action in the game is super fun. I really don't have that many complaints about this game, other than the fact that it gets a bit repetitive with the bosses, but that's pretty much it. Um, I'm going through the post game right now, and I don't know how far I'll get with it, but yeah, I'm overall a huge fan of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I would recommend it to anybody. It doesn't. I would say, even though Switch games don't really go on sale, I would say get it on sale for 40 or $30 if you can. Um, just because it's not a particularly long game. I played probably 9 hours to beat it, and I'm like at like 11 or 12 now. So it's not the longest game in the world. If you're concerned about the length of your game giving you a bang for your buck, then I would say wait for a sale. But I think by the time I'm actually done with this, I'll have 60 plus bucks worth out of it for sure.
Yeah, I think I'll have the same thing. I
Yeah.
I knew what I was getting into. I've seen like some people be like, "Oh, well, Kirby's but easy." I'm like, "It's Kirby. I don't I don't know what you expected, but for me, I just expected a fun time where you kind of breeze through the game and you just enjoy the gameplay, and that's what I
Yeah.
like about it."
Yeah, that was my concern. Was like I figured it would be a short game, so the gameplay really had to shine for me. And I've heard, Kirby games are often just cute and fun, and I was hoping it would be a little bit more than that to justify being a full price game for how short I figured it was going to be. And I think the gameplay is good and varied enough that it was good enough to be worth it.
Yeah. So that's always good to hear. But you know what's not good to hear? I have breaking news here, Nick.
Oh,
And I'm very sad to give this on the air. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse delayed until June 2nd, 2023. Part 2 pushed back to March 29th, 2024.
I wasn't anticipating like any movies the rest of the year other than
Me
that.
neither, man.
This is a shitty year for movies.
I don't know what else there is this year for me to care about.
At one point, it was like Mission Impossible in September. That's the one, and then that got delayed by a whole year. Oh, that sucks. It wasn't even a summer movie. Like, this summer is
No.
abysmal. Have you seen the slate for this summer?
No, the only thing I know of is
Oh,
Thor
it's dire.
in July. But apparently that might also get delayed. But we'll see.
Do we want to talk about what's coming this year, movie-wise?
Not really.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about, so I'm just going to mention briefly. May, we have Doctor Strange and Men and Top Gun. June, we have Jurassic World and Lightyear, the Elvis movie. July, we have Thor and Nope. August, we have Nothing I've Ever Heard of. And yeah, there's not really much the rest of the year. We have Halloween Ends in October. Don't you
Evil
want to see
dies
that?
tonight.
Black Panther supposedly in November. I don't see that happening.
Supposedly.
Avatar in December. I still think, honestly,
Nah, it'll get pushed back.
I think it has a better chance of meeting its release date than Black Panther does.
Avatar 2 doesn't exist. It's not actually going to come out.
We've gotten promotion for it, though, in magazines and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we had promotion for
They're
Anthem
still promoting
too, and
it
Anthem
as
didn't
if
exist. Anthem,
well,
BioWare employees did not know that Anthem was a game that they were making until they went to E3 and they saw a cinematic for a game called Anthem that had the BioWare name on it, and they said, "Oh, this is what we're making." So I guarantee that's exactly what's happening with Avatar 2. They didn't know that Avatar 2 was actually a thing that was coming out until like they started saying like promotional images, and they're like, "Oh, is that us? Are we supposed to be there?" Because they're just CGI images of people. See those people and the people on set and any of the like production design or the concept art that we've seen for Avatar 2, that's not real. It's just stuff that they made up.
So genuinely now, if Avatar makes its release date, that is the one movie the rest of this year that I can actually say I'm looking forward to.
I don't know what else is
The
coming.
Mario movie, I'm not looking forward to in a good way, but that's at the end of the year.
Let me see. Movies of 2022 list.
I mean, unless we get to some smaller stuff like The Fabelmans, which is the Spielberg movie about his dad, that'll probably be good. But that's not like a big movie to look forward to. Black Adam is apparently this year.
No, that got pushed.
It says it's in October now. I think it was over the summer. It was originally for the summer.
I know Flash got pushed.
Yeah, Flash is next year.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Isn't that on Disney Plus?
Yeah, I'll see it.
I guess IMDb only has the coming to theaters list. They don't.
No,
have
I'm on IMDb, and I have IMDb,
Oh.
and it's on there.
Okay.
I probably won't see Bullet Train, but I'm at least interested to see what it is.
I'm not.
Nope isn't really grabbing me. I don't want to see League of Super Pets.
What about Minions: The Rise of Gru?
Oh yeah, I'm totally ready for that one.
That comes out on my birthday. That's my birthday movie this year.
My birthday movie's Thor.
Oh yeah.
What was I gonna say? I keep seeing this thing saying like, oh, we're gonna get movies from all these directors this year. What a great movie, and what a great year. And I'm like, I can't really think of anything that I'm like looking forward to. I know that Damien Chazelle has a movie coming out this year, so I'm excited to see what that's
this year?
gonna be. I believe it's this year, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
No, last year
it's in December.
Oh, that's
December 25th.
I didn't know that was him. I didn't know the title of his movie.
Yeah.
No, last year felt like that year because you had like a new Spielberg, a new Del Toro, a new PTA, Jen Campion, who hasn't made a movie in a long time. There's a couple I'm forgetting as well. But yeah, last year felt like more of that. Like you have big hitter directors, at least, not like big hitters in terms of blockbuster stuff, but well-regarded directors kind of all making stuff at the same time.
Yeah. No, this year feels like
this year feels
I'm gonna say it, guys. It feels like 2016.
No, 2016 had more than this, bro.
Yeah, 2016 did have some more stuff.
Not a fantastic movie year, but it was a damn sight better than the way this year is looking.
Yeah,
right now.
It does look better. We at least got Star Trek Beyond.
We got Star Trek Beyond. I mean,
Kung Fu Panda 3.
Star Trek Beyond.
Like, come on, guys.
Arrival.
La La Land.
Civil
Moonlight.
War. Zootopia. Nice Guys. Yeah, Moonlight, as we said. Finding Dory, I still like. 10 Cloverfield Lane, Edge of 17.
Edge of 17, Fox.
Sing Street, Hell or High Water. Jungle Book was good.
I like Jungle Book.
Yeah.
I like the first Deadpool still. It's obviously gone down in years.
Yeah.
But I still think it's fine.
Yeah, I don't like it anymore. Shin Godzilla, if you want to count that. We got The Killing Joke.
Ooh, no. Don't count that in one of the good ones.
Yeah. I paid money to like rent that because I really thought it was going to be good.
I still have yet to see it. I can watch it on HBO Max at any point.
Yeah, it's fine once it actually gets to the Killing Joke stuff.
Which is what I hear. I hear the first third kind of sucks, and then the last 2/3 are all fine.
The first third is like shockingly bad.
What, you tell me you don't like Barbara Gordon and Batman banging on a rooftop?
That's not even it. Like, they have the worst fucking stereotypical gay character as her friend. It is like the shocking how bad that character is. That's the only thing I remember from that movie because that character is so bad. I don't remember the actual Killing Joke stuff, which is generally pretty good. I don't even remember that stuff because that character was so bad.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Ooh, we also have The Do-Over with Adam Sandler and David Spade on Netflix. You can't forget that from 2016.
Never saw it.
I didn't either. I'm just looking at all the stuff on this list.
I think the only Sandler Netflix movie I saw was Hubie Halloween.
I didn't even see that. I haven't seen any of his Netflix stuff.
Yeah, that's the only one I've seen.
Anyway,
I mean, The Northman is coming out.
That's this weekend. Yeah, I'm hoping to see that with friends this weekend. Like, I'm gonna see stuff. There's a lot of stuff here that is not being promoted yet that I'm sure I'll end up seeing. And obviously, the fall is when you get all the stuff that you're like all the stuff you don't know about at the beginning of the year. So we'll get that stuff. But yeah, in terms of big stuff, it's not looking particularly good.
Yeah. I mean, even for like franchise films, I'm like, there isn't really anything this year either. Spider-Man was the only one. I mean, I have my tickets for Multiverse Madness, but other than that, I'm like, that trailer for Thor didn't really grab me. Nothing from DC, unless it's Shazam 2. Oh, Shazam 2 is coming out this year, I think.
I still don't like.
So I'll be excited for that
Yeah,
one.
I don't care about Shazam.
I like
But
Shazam.
I like the first one fine, but I have no desire to see the second one.
I really like the first one a lot. I don't know, something about it just works for me. But yeah, it was. What's the other stuff that's coming out this year? Jurassic World is
Top
coming
Gun,
out.
yeah.
I mean, like Top Gun, I'll see
Top
for the
Gun,
filmmaker. Like, I don't know,
yeah,
looks good. Um,
yeah. Fucking Lightyear.
Lightyear, really don't have any opinions on. I have no strong
It's not
hate
a
or anything
franchise,
to it.
but yeah, it's not a franchise. But the Elvis movie,
Yeah, there's
I
nothing
feel like a
Star
movie's
Wars this year. I mean, like we have Mando and
no,
Obi-Wan coming out, but
no movies.
no movies, and we still don't know about any.
Do we have Mando this year?
Mando's this year. Mando was
Okay,
supposedly the summer, according to Giancarlo Esposito.
that's not happening.
No, it'll be December again. It'll be
Yeah,
October through December, the same way that all the seasons have been.
aren't they supposed to fit the Cassian Andor show in there somewhere?
Yeah, Andor's supposed to be coming out. Apparently, season 2 of Visions is coming out, which I am excited for that.
Yeah, I saw that. Are we getting? Are we? Or did they just switch to Star Wars shows this year instead of Marvel shows?
Marvel, we have Miss Marvel, we have She-Hulk. I don't think we have a new season of What If. I think that's it for this year. So we still have 2 more shows. So it's about
Okay.
the same as last year, because last year it was Falcon, it was Wanda, it was Loki, and it was Hawkeye. And you had What If in there as well, but this year is
Yeah, I
3.
feel like last year. I feel like last year the big shows were like all Marvel because the Boba Fett show started at the end of the year
Yeah.
and carried over into 2022, and you have 3, maybe 4 Star Wars shows after that this year. So it feels like it's flipped from last year where the biggest stuff was Marvel, and then you have some Star Wars stuff in there, like Visions and stuff.
Yeah.
But this year feels like the opposite.
I mean,
The big heavy hitter shows are Star Wars this year.
it was the same way the first year of Disney Plus as well. Because first year of Disney Plus was Mando, Clone Wars, Mando again. That's what you
Yeah, but
had Disney Plus for.
they didn't have any Marvel shows yet.
Nope.
Now they do.
Now they do. So I'm sure they're going to be alternating again.
Yeah.
Because WandaVision isn't coming back for a second season. Captain America and the Winter Soldier is turning into Captain America 4. Hawkeye, we still don't have any announcement for if they're getting a second season. I want there to be a
What I
second
saw
one,
the other
but
day
I
was
don't
that it's
think so.
not happening.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. What If is getting a second season? Loki is getting a second season. But Loki doesn't even start filming until maybe this year.
Blah.
Yeah, I didn't really care for Loki, but
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of blah about everything we've mentioned here. Like, I'll watch Mando. I'll watch Obi-Wan. We'll see if I watch the Cassian Andor show, because that's a character I don't care about from a movie I didn't like. So,
but
I don't
maybe
know.
the show will make you care about him more, and you'll get to know more about him.
And he's already dead, so why would I care?
I mean, that's what happened with Black Widow.
Yeah, I didn't watch that because I don't care.
Yeah. You think we've had enough negativity this episode?
What's something nice we could talk about?
Well, we can talk about Sonic 2, Electric Boogaloo. And by we, I mean
Well,
you.
I can. Yeah, by we, it's me. I went and saw Sonic 2. I did a double feature with something else that we can mention, even though you and I have already pretty much had a big conversation about that.
I don't
already.
think we have on air.
Not on air, but we pretty much had the full conversation with Elena in the DMs.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sonic 2, I went and saw last weekend, and I had a lot of fun with it, folks. You'll be shocked to hear. I like the first one a lot, as you, if you listen to the commentary, you could probably tell that I like the first one a lot. I think you do too. And I don't know if I like this one quite as much, but I still think it's close enough. It's really enjoyable. It's a full 2 hours this time, which is the only real drawback, but I wouldn't say I felt the length when I was watching it. It just felt like some stuff that didn't need to be there, but it didn't feel like the movie dragged necessarily. But I like the new characters they brought in. They're all enjoyable additions. It feels very in line with what the first one was. It doesn't feel like it feels bigger in scope, but otherwise it doesn't feel out of line with what the first one kind of established as the style of these movies. It feels like more of the same. And if you like that, then you'll probably like this. If you didn't care for it, this won't change your mind, I don't think. Because it does double down on some of the stuff that, uh, like pretty much a lot of the stuff in the first one, they double down on a lot of that. Some of the stuff I didn't like in the first one, they gave more of in this one. Um, but I actually found that stuff to work a little better here than it did in the first movie. But yeah, all in all, it's more of the same. And if you like that, then you'll like this movie.
How many Olive Garden ads did we have?
It's not really an ad, but they had one brief mention of Olive Garden.
Dang, they knew exactly what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there might have been a second one, but there's only one that I can remember.
I hardly had to say.
I say we did. No, I'm not talking about that.
I'm
right
not
now.
going to talk about it either.
I don't even know about these particular comments.
Me neither. But my take is, fuck that person.
My take is, yeah, that sounds about right.
Now, I want to talk a little, just very quickly, spoiler for Sonic 2, because spoiler.
Hold that thought. I have to let Dexter out for 1 second.
Okay, guys. Can you believe this man? Mans has a dog. Like, who has one of those? It's kind of unbelievable, the fact that he has a dog. I don't support it, guys. That's what I want to say, is that I do not support Nick having a dog, because it interrupts our podcast. I am, of course, joking. Of course, I support him having a dog. I love dogs. I love the dogs. Who let the dogs out? That is the main question that we should be asking today. Maybe that's the question to life. Who lets the dogs out? Was it the dog keeper? Was it one of the vets? Did a dog somehow figure out how to get his lock off? Maybe it was a cat, and they want to frame the dogs for doing something bad. That way the cats look good. Harley, I love using that emote.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay, so the spoiler, are you asking about the credit scene?
Yeah. So, spoiler for the credit scene. Hi, Azul. Spoilers
Azul.
for Sonic 2. My boy Shadow is coming in the third one?
Yeah.
Let's go. If there is a third one. If Jim Carrey accepts the money, which I think he will. But
he will. And if he doesn't, they'll still make it without him.
They said that they probably won't if Jim Carrey doesn't sign on.
Bullshit. They will absolutely make another movie without him. These movies do too well. He is not like these movies can be fine without him. Is my take. He's really enjoyable in that role, but they'll be fine without him.
Interesting. I've seen opposite, but I'm excited to see Shadow. I've seen a couple people say like get John Bernthal to voice Shadow, and I'm like, huh, interesting.
Idris Elba does pretty much steal this movie. He's like the absolute fish out of water comedy that you would expect from him as this character in this type of movie, but it still works. He's very much like Drax, and if you like Drax, you'll find Knuckles to be funny.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
But I don't really know anything about Shadow as a character except that he looks cool. He's always been the coolest looking Sonic character to me. But yeah, like pretty much everybody knew that's what the credit scene was going to be, and that's what it was, and that's what the third movie is going to be. I don't know the Sonic cast really beyond the characters that we've seen, so I don't know if they make more than a third movie, if they'll keep expanding beyond that.
I mean, they could bring Amy in.
Who?
Amy's the pink Sonic character. She has, I think, like a green headband. Anyways, they could bring in Amy. There are a couple other characters that they can bring in from like Sonic Boom. Which from what I hear is kind of like the version that they took for Knuckles, is they kind of took a lot of inspiration from that version and the original, of course. Tails is always going to be Tails. There isn't really a version of Tails to take from. And then Sonic is Sonic X, Sonic the Hedgehog, those versions of Sonic. But yeah, Shadow, he's a fun character to hang out with. Yeah, like what if you what if you went out? Hold on, wait, what if you get like Metal Sonic and they do a Godzilla versus Kong thing?
I think they might actually.
Bro, that'd be kind of cool.
Sounds like the Royals won.
Did the Royals win? Apparently,
Sounds like it.
apparently the Celtics also won.
Oh, did they?
Supposedly. But
Let's
check.
go.
Let's
They were
check in.
behind most of that game.
Let's
It looked
check
like.
in.
Yep. They won. They're up 2-0 in the series. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, there it is. They won by 7.
Hell yeah. Anyway, Sonic. Yeah. This is fun. I still think even if Jim Carrey retires, which I don't expect him to, but even if he does, I think they'll work around him because these movies are very successful. And I just can't imagine, because I just can't imagine Paramount just saying, nope, Jim Carrey's gone. We simply cannot do this. I don't know if they'll recast him, but I still think they can absolutely continue without him.
Oh, I don't think they recast him. I
don't know who the other villains are, but I'm sure you can come up with something.
I think Shadow the Hedgehog is Vegeta. Nick, do you know who Vegeta is?
I know the name. I know he's from Dragon Ball.
Yes, correct. Okay, well,
he's the bad guy in Dragon Ball, right? No. That's what's his name? Can I get it? What's his name? He's green. What the fuck's his name? Piccolo. I got it.
Okay. Yes, that is Piccolo. Honestly, I want to play a game with Nick to see how many Dragon Ball characters he can name if I show him a photo. That'd be fun. Maybe we'll do that after the episode.
It's those 3. It's Goku and Vegeta and Piccolo. Those are the only ones I know.
Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. I think you underestimate how much people like Jim Carrey in that role, because a lot of people that I've seen talk about Sonic 2 say that they can't do Sonic the Hedgehog without Jim Carrey, and that they don't want to see another one if Jim Carrey doesn't return because of how well he plays that character. So
I know people love him, but I still think that people overall like the movies enough that they can at least do one more without him.
That I don't
see
know.
How
I know that people like the movies enough, but that Jim Carrey gives it a big boost for them to where they can handle some of the quote unquote short givings of Sonic. At least from people that I've seen online talk about it. But in general, yeah, I'm excited to see Sonic eventually. I've just been slammed these last couple of weeks. But I was able to go see one movie, which is okay, Bobby. Bobby, I hope this is right, but is it Gohan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Gohan is... It's named after his grandfather. I don't know if his grandfather is named Gohan.
I have no idea, Robert. I have no idea.
And I also don't know if that's his oldest son. But when he said who's it named after, it's his grandfather. So I don't know if that's the correct answer. Gohan or Goten? Anyway, we started talking about Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z. Dragon. Sorry, you were saying?
Is that the theme song?
For one of them, yeah. Oh, I was right. It was Gohan. Okay. And it was named after his uncle. Or his grandpa.
Congratulations.
Let's go, guys. I know my anime. I've seen Dragon Ball. I saw the Android 18 saga and the Cell saga.
I do not know my anime.
I don't know a lot of anime. I don't know any. There's only a couple that I can talk about some of Cowboy Bebop. I can talk about Pokemon, Indigo League. I can talk about some of Dragon Ball. I can talk about the first episode of One Punch Man.
Okay.
I can talk about the first 13 episodes of Attack on Titan. But other than that, I'm very clueless on a lot of anime. But you know what I'm not clueless on? Everything Everywhere All at Once.
We've been trying to do this segue for 10 minutes now.
I mean, it was only the last couple minutes. But yeah, guys, we saw the movie. We enjoyed it very much. At least I did. I know Nick had some issues with it being too much at once, and that he wanted it to be toned down a little bit, which I personally disagree with. But I mean, it's his opinion to have. I think the story, what I like about it is the amount of just absurd shit that happens and the way that all of them can make you feel something. Because there is that moment towards the end where a ripple effect starts happening, and it hit all of us when we were in the theater watching it. So, long story short, I think it's funny. I think it's well directed. I think everyone gives a great performance. Ki Kwan should absolutely keep doing more stuff. It's good to have him back. Um, Jamie Lee Curtis is awesome as always. I think if you watch any of her interviews with the cast, you can really see that she's just an awesome, awesome, awesome person. And I know Harley had talked about how his family had a photo of Jamie Lee Curtis up in their house when he was younger. I might do the same thing because what a legend! What a legend Jamie Lee Curtis is. I think the comedy has a pretty good hit mark. There are some jokes that don't hit, obviously, but I think in general, I was laughing and smiling throughout. I got really emotional towards the end. I think it's a good message, and I like the way that they chose to tell it rather than going with something a lot simpler, in my opinion. I like how it can get messy because of the reflection of what it's trying to talk about. So that's my opinion.
Oh, is it my turn now?
Yes.
I like it a lot overall. There's a lot of stuff that I think is stupid that doesn't work, and I really think it ends up feeling too long because it does so many different absurd things and it tries to resolve all of them at the end. And I think the movie works just as well, if not better, if a lot of that stuff is not there. In terms of broad strokes, that's what I can say about it. Because most of these people here probably haven't seen it. I know Bobby has seen it, but otherwise, I'm not sure who has seen it. So I'm just gonna not be too specific. But
Richard has also seen
I'll
it.
echo you as okay.
I'm seeing
Yeah,
his
I'll
comment
echo
right
you as
there.
far. Yeah. I just saw it now. So I'll echo you as far as I think the performances are all great. I appreciate the message, even though I think I've seen a lot of movies with similar messaging like that in even just the last couple months. It's just kind of how things worked out. Um, but yeah, like I would say I still like the movie a lot overall, but I'm left thinking about the stuff I didn't like because that's just how my brain works.
Yeah, he's just an inherently negative person, guys. It, it, yeah. I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh, okay.
I, yeah,
That's just kind of some movies are like that for me. If they really hit for me, but there's enough stuff that bugs me, I'm just gonna be left thinking about that. And that was kind of how I came away feeling with this. For every joke that worked, there were two that I thought, no, you don't need this. And then a lot of those jokes they tried to turn into serious emotional beats, and I thought they totally fell flat.
yeah. Like there, we talked about this a little bit, where there are like some things that I agree with you of like, yeah, I didn't really need that, or it feeling a little bit long. I agree, it felt a little bit long. For me, what made it feel long was the title cards, which isn't a spoiler, but they have title cards throughout. So I was just kind of waiting for the next one. So there's a very long stretch where we don't get one, and I'm like, oof, it's kind of long. We're getting towards the end of this, and we still have a while to go. Um, but no, I loved it. I think it's really cool. This is one of those where I'd buy the A24 coffee table book of the script and just have it in my house. I really like it that much. And I've never done that for anything.
I will never do that for anything. Even stuff I really love, I will never do that.
Yeah, fucking Nick. This man.
What use would I have paying like $50+ for a script of a movie?
It's just cool to have.
I have enough stuff that I've overpaid for that's just cool to have. I don't need that.
It's true. You have enough wrestling stuff that you could get rid of.
Yeah, I got 2 lucha masks now. That's cool.
Is there anything else that we want to talk about?
Oh, I can mention something I saw.
Okay.
Last week, I went to see a movie that's coming out as of recording this coming weekend, which is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, starring our boy Nicolas Cage.
I've seen it
which I
been
think
marketed just as Massive Talent.
Really? Okay. Yeah, this title. Not that the movie was gonna do really well anyway, but this title will totally kill any chance this movie has of being successful. That's my take, because literally, before I left for the theater, I was talking to my mom about it, and she asked me what I was going to see because she knew I was going to the movies. And I said, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And actually, it was the reverse for her. She had heard the title somewhere, and then I said, it's the Nick Cage movie where he plays Nick Cage. And she's like, oh, I don't think I actually know that. The flip side, when the usher scanned my my barcode at the theater, he asked what we're screening for tonight because it was an advanced AMC screening. And I said, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And he gave me a weird look. And I said, it's the Nick Cage movie where he plays himself. And he's like, oh, that one. So feels like either end of the spectrum, the title is something that the movie that people don't associate with the movie. So when people see the title on a marquee or on the list when they're browsing for movies at the theater, they're not going to know what this movie is, I feel like, and that's going to be a disconnect for people. But yeah, I didn't see the advertising this week where they've been pushing it just as Massive Talent. You don't even really need that title for this movie, honestly. There's like a couple lines that kind of reference it in that way, but that doesn't need to be the title of the movie. I don't know what you would title it otherwise, but yeah, the movie itself I ended up really liking. I was kind of concerned about it because the movie does still look cheap, but the trailers looked really cheap. And I think the movie's kind of shot pretty pedestrian. It's a lot of just basic coverage with your standard shot reverse shot. It doesn't really do anything interesting from a production standpoint, but Nick Cage is really great in it. He's got great chemistry with Pedro Pascal. Oh, there's Dexter. Hold on.
So while he's talking about that, guys, I really think you could have just called the movie the Nick Cage movie, and you would have been fine.
Yes, you would have been fine. Because that's what it is. You tell people it's the Nick Cage movie where he plays himself, and I think they'll recognize it, because I've seen that trailer in most of the movies I've seen this year. I've been to the movies like 13 times this year, and I've seen that trailer for most of them. But yeah, I think you go there for his performance, and there's a lot of witty stuff in the script. There's a lot of funny interactions, particularly, like I said, he and Pedro Pascal have great chemistry. The scenes where they're just interacting are what I'll take from the movie. I will say I was disappointed in that the trailers actually very well represent this movie, and that they pretty much show you the entire movie. Like, you see the entire plot of the movie. It doesn't really deviate from that. I feel like I saw at least a bit of every scene in this movie, which disappointed me, because I feel like I walked in the movie already familiar with most of the movie, and that's always a bummer for me personally. But yeah, all in all, it's really enjoyable. I wouldn't say you have to rush out to the theater to see it, but if you need something to go see, I think you can do a lot worse than this one.
All right. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I rewatched all the Star Wars movies except for Rise of Skywalker. And when I say like all of them, I mean the mainline saga. I rewatched
Skywalker Saga.
Yeah, I rewatched all those leading up to the game. So yeah, those were all good. Yeah, all the ones that I saw were good.
All the Star Wars movies were good?
No, all the ones that I saw were good.
Oh, did you skip the prequels or what?
No, because we had already seen the prequels, so I just picked off.
Oh, okay. Well, you said all the Star Wars movies. I didn't know.
No, I was
finishing.
I was finishing that off. I saw New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi. They were all good.
Okay. Oh, Bobby says they could have called it The Massive Talent of Nicolas Cage. I think even a better title would be The Unbearable Weight of Being Nicolas Cage. I think it's a longer title, but I still think that's a good title for this movie. That, like, one of the two titles that you or I mentioned, I think would work better. If you have Nick Cage in the title of the movie, I think it makes more sense and it works better.
Just call it Being Nicolas Cage, like being John Malkovich.
You could do that, yeah, but then people are like, is it a sequel? I don't know if anyone will actually think it's a sequel, but I've seen some, not to be rude, but I've seen some normies, like, asking theater employees about every single movie that's playing at the theater, and there's a shocking amount that people just do not pay attention to as far as movies go.
Yeah, I checked what was playing because I wanted to go see Licorice Pizza. Still haven't. So
it's 4 months later. You'll just have to rent it at this point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the fan movie that came out. Didn't talk about the Wizard.
The what?
The Wizard movie.
Oh, well, yeah, we didn't see it. What could we talk about?
The fact that it has a 49% on Rotten Tomatoes and it was the lowest opening for that franchise. Anyway,
it sounds like the series is dead.
Yeah, don't give that person any money. Is my opinion. I don't.
I'll watch it some random night on HBO Max later this year. That's probably what will happen.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'll do that. It doesn't sit right with me giving them publicity in any manner. But everyone has their own version of supporting creators that are corrupt. I'll play Overwatch. Activision works their people to death and treats them very poorly in the workplace. So it is what it is, but I'm glad that the movie is failing. And that is my honest opinion. I'm glad the movie is failing.
One second, sorry.
Harley saying, "Let's go burn in hell, Joanne." Yeah, I feel you.
I'm looking for something. There's something else that we can both. Oh, the Tony Hawk documentary.
Oh, the documentary. Yes.
Yeah. It was good.
It was good.
I told you before we started. You mentioned this is something we could talk about, and I'm like, I don't think there's much I can really say about it because, like, I was watching it, I was vibing with it, I was learning a lot because I really don't know much about his story. I've kind of just played the games. I've heard about his famous moments, like when he hit the 900 and stuff like that, but really I didn't know a ton about him, so it was fairly informative to me. And then the very end of it started getting into the stuff that I had hoped it would actually get into. Is what I can
His
say.
infidelity.
No, not even that. It's mostly I was thinking I've probably like an hour in, I'm like, are they I feel like documentaries like this, they always ask someone, "Can you talk about all the injuries you've had in your career?" Like every wrestling documentary I've ever watched, they ask an old wrestler, like, "Name all the injuries you've had in your career." Then they do some rapid fire editing where he's like, "Oh, I broke my elbow in 3 places," and yada yada yada, and they go through like dozens of injuries that he's had. For Tony Hawk, I would have been fascinated to hear about each individual injury he's ever had.
Yeah.
But the last 20 minutes are some of that and all his friends that he still skates with and that he grew up skating with. Everyone talks about the pain that they go through on, like, on a day-to-day basis, and how it's much harder. Excuse me. How it's much harder because they're all in their 50s or 60s now, and they still love it, so they still do it, but they know that they're getting to the point where they can't for much longer. Like the movie's bookended by Tony doing what's allegedly his last 900 that I think he released that video of last year.
Yeah, he released it a while ago. So when it started off,
I remember
was like,
that when it happened.
Yeah, I remember it too, because when I saw it, I'm like, oh, I saw this a while ago. Is this like, are they just using like archival footage, or what was with that? But yeah. No, it was good.
Yeah, it was
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a good examination of the psychology of that, because I was actually just talking about this with my friend last night. We were talking about basketball players, and just an athlete's mentality in general of, for me, as I approach things, at a certain point, I would have, taken my money, I would have kept my body intact, and I would have just moved on. But as an athlete, especially someone who's the best, like he's been, at least in terms of the face of skating, he's the face of skating, as Tiger Woods is for golf, is pretty much the best example I can make, is one singular face of a sport for generations. He's that, and part of that is that he feels like he has a legacy to uphold. Part of it's just he loves to skate, so he's going to do it until he absolutely can't anymore. And he talked about he's had like a dozen concussions and all this other stuff that's happened. So he's had actual layoffs in the 30 plus years he's been skating, but he'll still, like, doesn't seem like he's changed his approach necessarily at all. He seems aware that he's old because he was approaching that 900 like it was absolutely his last one, and we'll see if it actually was. But that mentality of an athlete of not knowing when to stop, or as some of the other guys that they interviewed talk about, the fact that they know full well that they could and probably will die with not, getting the rotation quite enough on one trick because they can't move their body that well anymore, and you land around your head, like that's a very real possibility, especially as you get older and your body starts to give way on you. Like, that's interesting stuff that I'm glad they uh went into in the last 20-30 minutes of this doc. That was the stuff that stuck with me.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed the doc. I also didn't know all that much about Tony Hawk, other than he was someone that was always there. Like, he was always a figure in my life, quote unquote. So I always knew about Tony Hawk, but I didn't really know his story and the way that he was brought up and all those things. So it was a lot of interesting stuff to see. When he hit that 900, I was like, "Ooh, yes, he did it finally!" And the beginning of him just failing after fail after fail after fail after fail after fail after fail of trying to land that 900 is just like rough.
Mhm.
And that's like the main thing I can get from this doc is that it was rough and it still is rough
Yeah.
for Tony Hawk to skate. Because he'll like break himself until he can land something perfectly. So that was
Yeah.
something that I really did enjoy seeing. But other than that, yeah, I really liked it. It's on HBO. It's I think like 2 hours. I think it's
Mhm.
a great doc to just watch and hang out with.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I had played some of the games as a kid. I'd sort of fallen in love with those games and tried to skate at one point, but, like, the pain threshold you have to stick with it is just not for me. Like, they routinely mess up tricks because, like, you'll routinely just mess anything up, but in skating, that means you're skinning your knee, you're landing on something awkwardly, like, you're actually hurting yourself anytime you don't land a trick correctly, and that's the thing for me, is, like, the constant pain threshold, the constant failure that you have to do to get like, if you're really trying to do something that's incredibly difficult, the constant failure to get to that point, that's not just a mental thing, that's your body taking more and more damage as you're trying to do something. You're making it harder on yourself as you go physically. And again, it's psychologically, that's the stuff I really liked them getting into.
I agree with you.
I think that's what I can
I
say.
think that's what I can say too. I think that's it too.
Unless anybody has a question they're burning to ask us.
Exactly. Now, Nick, you've been working on something for a little bit here. Can you give a tease to the audience of what might be coming in your front?
I can tease that my voice is killing me because I did some narration for a couple hours today for something I'm working on. I had this idea to do a reveal video for what I'm doing, even though like everybody on Discord knows what I'm doing already. But I still, if we have a sunny day this week, I'm going to shoot something that's a little announcement video. So look out for that in the next week or so from this recording. Hopefully I'll have something to share by then, but I am actually working on something, which is fun.
There you go, guys. He's working
So
on something.
I'll play coy until now, until I have something to actually show. Yeah, my voice is killing me.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
And I need to record more tomorrow, but we'll see how my voice holds up to that.
I think you're gonna do great, King.
Okay.
That is just my opinion.
See, I'm awkward at taking compliments, so I'm just like, oh, okay.
So cows love music. Oh my god, speaking of cows and music, I showed Nick the song Moo, aka Bitch I'm a Cow by Doja Cat today. Me and Elena enjoyed it. Nick had different opinions on it.
I think I got through like 45 seconds of that song. It's not good, folks.
To quote Nick, he said, "This is an atrocious song."
Yes.
All right, so Harley says, so cows love music. It's got to be slow music, though, or they'll get anxious. What Foo Fighters and Blink song would you play for a crowd of cows? You know, I think I'd play For All the Cows by Blitzwinger. Not Blitzwinger, by Foo Fighters.
By Blitzwinger. Friend of the show, Max.
Friend of the show, Max. Exactly. Doesn't have an actual name.
First name
is friend of the show.
First name, friend of the show. Last name, Max.
No. See, Richard said, I don't say meow. Bitch, I'm a cow. Bitch, I'm a cow. I am not a cat. I don't say meow. Anyways, it's a fun song. It's stupid.
Yeah, Harley also asked for a Blink song. Bobby, you can help me on this. Is Fighting the Gravity their slowest song in terms of pace? Because I think it might be. I'm scanning through their discography in my brain now to think if they have a slower song than that. But I think that's the slowest song.
I think
they don't have like Foo Fighters have like Home,
Friend of a Friend,
on their Echo Silence, Patience, and Grace,
Friend
album,
of a Friend is
which is very slow and quiet. So like if you're specifically looking for something that's slow to avoid making the cows anxious, then maybe Home is a Foo Fighters song that would also work. Might soothe them a little bit. Blink wise, I think your best bet might be Fighting the Gravity.
Also, Friend of a Friend is another slow Foo. I think Friend of a Friend is the slowest one.
You keep mentioning that. I can't think of that song off the top of my head.
I'll show it to you after.
Okay. I'm pulling up Spotify to look at Blink songs to see if there's a
I
better
think it's
one.
Damn It.
No, damn, it's pretty loud and pretty fast.
That was the joke.
Okay. You know, I can't tell sometimes.
You know, I really can't tell with you either.
That's just my delivery. Everyone has always said that I have such a dry delivery that they don't know if I'm joking.
It's true.
Cacophony is a pretty slow song for the first half, and then it gets really fast in the second half.
I can talk about the fact that I'm back to playing Pokemon Unite.
Back on his bullshit, baby.
Yeah. Played a little bit before we
All
started.
all this is a good one as well. Yeah, I think it's a little faster than Fighting the Gravity, but it's all in all one of their quieter, slower songs. Do you know Blink has a song called A New Hope, Manny?
Interesting.
Came out the year that the special editions were released in theaters in 1997.
Carly says, if you want to go in depth in this, it should be under 100 beats per minute. Let's see. Friend of a friend who there's cold. This plays at, what's the BPM? 95 BPM.
Type in Fighting the Gravity, see what we got.
Platters.
Home's definitely slower than that, right?
I don't think so. Home plays at 105 BPM.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Friend of a Friend is their slowest song. And I know
the acoustic version of Bored to Death is kind of slow. From the deluxe edition of California. Bored to Death itself is faster than the acoustic version that they have on the deluxe album is fairly slow.
Yeah. And For All the Cows plays at, what's the BPM? Why do you not have a BPM here? It's faster than that. It's
okay. Yep, I'm looking through all their albums. I think that's the best that I've got.
Richard talking about Digimon Survive. That's right. Digimon Survive finally got a release date for this year. It's real, guys. North American release date is confirmed July 29th, 2022. That is going to be
I just saw some breaking news that I think I'll wait to talk about till after we're done recording. Because it might be something you care about, which is why I'm mentioning this, and it also might be because of icky reasons, so we will wait.
Oh, no. I mean, you can send it to me, and then we can see.
I'll send it to you, and you can judge, because you might know the situation better than me.
I have a guess, but let's see. What is it? Ooh.
The not COVID-related part of that headline makes me think, oh, boy.
Did not hear about this.
Well, yeah, it's 8 minutes ago.
Yep. Yeah, I've not heard anything on that front since...
Did not know this is even happening.
I can't remember either. Ah, dang it! Netflix just canceled their upcoming Bone series. You ever read Bone?
No.
You've never read Bone?
When you said Bone series, I thought you meant Bones series, as in that Fox show that they brought it back or something.
No. So that's the character of Bone. Okay.
Did you send me something?
Yes. Hold on. I read that, and then I read the tweet underneath where it says, several other upcoming animated projects have also been canceled. Netflix currently sees Boss Baby as the ideal of what an animated series on the platform should be.
Did they cancel Cuphead?
I am seeing right now. Let's go to yahoo.com/entertainment. Also, it was indeed a Godzilla vs. Kong event for Call of Duty.
I'm gonna fucking install it. God damn it.
You have fun with that.
I hate myself.
You can do a stream for that. I won't. It's 200 gigs of nothingness. It doesn't.
Can you imagine me? Can you imagine the Picasso levels of me trying to do a stream of that?
Yeah.
I'd have to just stream it with my Xbox headset, because there's no way it would work going through my computer.
Harley says Bone was the shit. See, Harley gets it.
Okay. Doesn't mean I've heard of it.
Yeah, Bone was a comic book series where you followed the character of Bone and his adventures.
I kind of figured that.
Also, Nick, did you see my tweet that I posted 48 minutes ago?
Your tweet? You tweeted something during
look
the
at
show?
it.
Let me look you up and find it. Oh, okay, you shared it. Okay.
It's
That's a good bad tweet.
It's a good bad tweet right there. It's good if you know how I feel about
I'll give
that.
you the like.
Yeah.
You get a like from me. I hate myself again. hate myself for supporting my friends again.
Exactly, it's terrible. Oh, we didn't talk about Fast X either. Should have been called Fasten Your Seatbelts, but I mean, whatever.
I think on multiple occasions I said I thought it was just going to be called Fast 10, like FAS capital TEN.
Yeah.
I was like 90% sure that's what it was going to be.
Yeah. When we saw the Fast X logo, I was like, what? Why? It looks like an X-Men title. It's so weird.
Yeah, it does. The X really looks like it. Harley asks Nick, what did you look at during Scholastic Book Fairs? Posters. And I bought a Diary of a Wimpy Kid book there at some point. Don't remember. It was always posters because I loved posters. I think at least one of my Spider-Man 3 posters in my room of the two that I have. I'm pretty sure one of them I got it at Scholastic Book Fair for $4.95 because I always had the big stickers that said $4.95 for the posters. They're good posters too. I'm just saying.
It hurts me.
Manny was disappointed by that answer.
It really does. You didn't buy comics. You didn't buy the Simpsons had a long run of where they were releasing comics for Scholastic Book Fairs. Read those.
Yeah, but I never watched Simpsons.
I didn't watch the Simpsons either.
So why would you read those?
They're comics. You take what you can get. I remember there was one, and I still try to find it. It was a Kit Fisto comic book that I had.
Jesus Christ.
What?
A Kit Fisto comic book.
Yeah, man, it was good. Let's see. Kit Fisto Clone
Kit Fisto's
Wars.
the guy who got murked by Palpatine during that awfully choreographed sequence, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not buying a comic book of that fucking loser.
Nah, man, he's really cool. I'm not gonna say go read.
I'm sure he is.
I'm not gonna say go read the comics, but I found it.
His only on-screen contribution in anything that anyone ever actually saw was him getting murked by the worst-looking lightsaber combat of all time.
I saw this cover and I recognized it immediately.
Are you sending me something?
Hold on. So this is the cover, but I want to find the actual comic itself. All right, so there's the cover. No, Kit Fisto had an apprentice.
Yo, hentai,
and
though.
The apprentice died to Maul. Because he was like, nah, I got this. And then, not Maul, Grievous. And Grievous straight up murked him and took one of his lightsabers. So one of the 4 lightsabers that you see in Revenge of the Sith is Kit Fisto's apprentice, Padawan.
I think I did actually know that.
Yeah, that was a good episode. That's very early on, too. That's like, probably like the first 10 episodes of the show.
Of Clone
Wars, yeah.
Then I might have actually watched that.
It's first season. It is the first season for sure. I just don't remember if it was like the first 10. I know that it's the first season.
Okay. I watched enough, even though I did the chronological order. I watched enough that I probably saw that. That was 2.5 years ago now.
Gotcha.
I started watching it right when Disney Plus launched because my original plan was that I was going to catch up before the final season.
Did you?
No. I got through, I think, probably all season 1, I think. I think I was... Actually, I can probably look it up and see generally where
Sorry, did you say most of season 1?
Yeah.
See, because I can understand
'Cause, like
getting through I can understand getting through most of. See, I could understand you getting to like season 4
there
and then
wasn't
like stopping there, even though season 5
it
is
didn't it
incredible.
didn't, like, turn me away or anything, I just kinda stopped.
Yeah.
It just kinda happened that way. It wasn't anything in particular that turned me away from the show, it just kinda there I what happens with me is that I'll go a day or 2 without doing something, then I'll never get back to doing it again, and it was one of those things. I fell out of watching it enough that I never got back to it.
Yeah. I can tell you exactly where I stopped on my most recent rewatch because I have it on my phone. Let's see. I stopped at the beginning of season 3. Yeah, at the beginning of season 3. What was the episode where Fives finds out? Oh, you had to bring up Fives. Fives finds out in season. Oh, Fives. Sorry, I'm thinking about Echo. Fives finds out, I think, in like season 5. I know that Echo finds out, and then he is presumably killed, and then they bring him.
He finds out in season 5's.
When does Fives die? I believe because they kill him. Let's see. He tried to expose the truth of the chips and was framed for murder by Supreme Chancellor Sheev Palpatine, secretly the Sith Lord Darth Sidious, who orchestrated that. All right, so he dies in, let's see, Aftermath. Appearances, his last one is Orders, which is season 5. No, 515. That's his code name. Season 6, episode 4 is when Fives finds out.
Season 6 was the Netflix season. Right?
Yes, because they got bought by Disney and they said, all right, cool, you're not going to have another episode on Cartoon Network.
Mm-hmm.
So they finished up season 5, which was a really good ending, too. That's a great ending. And then they did a handful of episodes that they were already working on for season 6, and they finished those ones. And then that was it until we got season 7, which took also a bunch of episodes from season 6 that they were planning on doing and executed them there. Because that first 4-episode arc with the Bad Batch, that was pre-visualized. Like, you have that on YouTube in very rough shape. But that's out there. Mm-hmm. The Martez sister stuff was also reworked. I don't even know if you even saw season 7, but the second arc.
If I saw season 7? Why would I have?
Second arc of.
I just told you that I didn't see the show, or I didn't finish the show.
Second arc of.
I did watch the finale though. I watched the finale the day it happened.
Like the finale, or the last 4 episodes finale?
The series finale. The singular last episode of the show. God. The day it aired. That was what I watched. And I was like, this seems like it's good, but kind of anticlimactic. That was what I thought at the time.
Nick. It was a 4-episode arc.
I'm aware, but I just had to see if anything big happened on that particular episode itself, which it didn't.
The episode before. Beautiful. That's an awesome episode. You should watch it. You should just watch that. Instead of like watching a movie, just watch that 4-episode arc. Because it's basically a movie.
Maybe. I had a whole plan. I was going to watch Clone Wars and Rebels at one point.
I saw the first season of Rebels and I haven't finished it. It's not because it turned me away or anything, but I'm like, how come we're doing better things?
Yeah. It's kind of the 1-2 punch of Rise of Skywalker and then COVID hitting, and then during that whole period, I fell out of love with Star Wars and then had no desire to ever go back to it. That's probably what actually happened. Again, Clone Wars itself didn't turn me away from it.
Yeah, that's... See, because I was watching Rebels before I saw Rise of Skywalker. And then I saw Rise of Skywalker, and it was like, oh, damn it. Anyways, this isn't a Rise of Skywalker bash stream, but just know we don't like it.
Richard says have to watch Rebels.
Do I have to read Catalyst too? Harley says just
Ugh.
watch the Fives episode. It's a nice little self-contained thriller. Yeah, there are a lot of nice self-contained thriller episodes. The one with Pong Krell, that's a good one to watch. Anything with Maul, I think, is a good self-contained. Anything on Mandalore. Now, I hate to be that person, but anything with Mandalore and Clone Wars is probably gonna play a role in season 3 of Mandalorian.
Yeah. Don't care.
Yeah, I know you don't. But I mean, Mandalore's just awesome, is my opinion.
I know that Katie Sackhoff was that character in Clone Wars. That's pretty much all I need to know.
Yeah.
All I feel like I need to know.
I mean, she also was the leader of a rebel group that killed a lot of people on Mandalore and started a civil war.
Mm-hmm.
She was gifted the Darksaber by Sabine in Rebels, and then she lost it. So that's why they make a
What a
big
loser.
point of you have to win the sword by combat because you have to earn it. No, Mandalore is good. Rex still continues to be my favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, Star Trek, on the other hand, can we talk about the
I was gonna see
absolute?
how long we can put that
Can
silence
we
go.
talk about the absolute absurdity that is Star Trek Picard? I mean, that's not my Star Trek, guys. I'm kidding. I've never seen Picard. I've never seen Star Trek. I mean, I've seen the Abrams movies, but I haven't seen any of.
Yep, that's me. I've seen those 3 movies, and I've seen literally no other Star Trek in my entire life.
Yeah, I haven't seen any other Star Trek in my life, and I know Harley will be like, "You gotta watch it. It's good," but yeah, I just haven't.
It's TV, Harley.
Harley's long.
Well,
not Harley's.
Okay. All right, Harley, here's the one question I will ask you. Would I be fine to just watch the movies? That's all I can say. Because I'm not going to watch the 7 seasons of Next Generation to watch those Next Generation movies. I'm sure it'll obviously be enhanced if I watch Next Generation. And I honestly, I haven't heard those movies are particularly good anyway, but that's, I guess, the one thing I was going to ask. Because I'd always thought I wanted to at least watch the original series movies, or at least the good ones.
Yeah.
But the original show being, I think it's 3 seasons. That's not too much of a barrier for me, even though I think it's 3 full 20-something episode seasons. But Next Generation, I just know I can't do.
Yeah, Next Generation is long. And I know you're not going to watch Deep Space Nine.
No. Or, I'm not going to watch Enterprise or Voyager, or... Am I missing any?
No. I mean, Picard is...
Other than the new ones.
Well, and...
Yeah.
What's the new one? Discovery. That's the new one.
They have another one, I think.
Star Trek Lower Decks.
Well... No, that's something else.
Oh, yeah, they do have another one with Anson Mount. Yo! Into the Spider-Verse 4K Blu-rays on sale for less than $15.
Already got it, baby.
Do I have a 4K of it? No, I have a Blu-ray. Every time I see that art book, I always want to buy it.
I would buy a poster or some artwork of that movie and hang that up. I would do that.
Yeah. Oh. So, Nick.
Uh-oh. You gonna say
I sent
anything?
it to you.
Oh. I don't have notifications for it on. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
I've actually been DMing Bobby during
Oh,
this.
wow.
Because Bobby asked what I was talking about, so I sent him the link.
Wow, I see how it is.
Everyone has their idea on who it is now, and I think they might be right. Although we're just stepping around all of this.
Hold on. They might have just heard something. Watch this. And that gave me a good chuckle.
That is one thing I'm enjoying about the Batman being out, is that everyone's got good, high quality videos and memes now. That's my favorite thing when movies hit digital, is that you get some good content from them.
Yes, me too. I am very much enjoying that as well. I mean, the best thing of the Batman for me was the memes that were coming out of it. And people...
That's not how it was supposed to go.
I had it all planned out.
I'm assuming you were being loud because I couldn't hear you for that entire stretch.
I mean, loud-ish.
Okay. Again, Discord will, if someone's being too loud, Discord will just automatically mute them until they're done being loud.
Yeah.
Harley never answered me, which means he's typing an extremely long comment right now.
Or he just doesn't... He didn't hear it.
That could be.
Oh, man, I'm craving Wendy's right now.
I've had Wendy's twice in the last week. I'm not craving it at the moment.
Ooh, man.
Should we talk about the spicy chicken sandwich?
We gotta...
Oh, do we have to wait for friend of the show Max to be back
Friend of the show Max has to be on for you to talk about the Wendy's chicken sandwich.
Well, I'm just going to say, if y'all remember from our Batman episode, friend of the show Max said that he would only appear for a Doctor Strange discussion if I had the Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich. And this is not the sole reason I got the spicy chicken sandwich, but last week I did finally get that sandwich, and I was a big fan of it.
There you go.
I love a good chicken sandwich, and this was a good spicy chicken sandwich as well. Not too spicy, but it has enough kick that it gave it a little something extra, and I was a big fan.
Now, while we're talking about chicken, the other day I went to Popeyes.
Ooh, yeah.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Did you get the sandwich, or did you get just a
I got myself a 3-piece with a biscuit.
And a biscuit?
Yeah, 3-piece, the biscuit, and the mac and cheese, because I wanted to see what it tasted like. Tastes pretty good. I don't know, if I would get that over the fries or anything else, but I mean, it was good. I would...
Yeah. Their fries are pretty good there. I don't know how I would rank them in the tier list, but they have good fries.
They do have good fries. But I had myself some spicy chicken for the first time. Ooh, that was good.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm not going to mention him by name because I don't even know if he listens, but I'm still not going to mention him by name. But a friend of mine, who way back last year in our Discord, I mentioned that he said Arby's was terrible. He got to talking about Five Guys the other day, and I said their fries were mediocre as hell, which is why they compensate by giving you a bunch of them, because they want you to feel like you got some sort of value. And he said that was one of my worst takes, was that I thought Five Guys fries were mediocre.
Nah, they are mediocre.
They absolutely are.
I've had them. They're mediocre, guys.
I've had them enough. They're nothing special. I've had all the fast food fries pretty much at this point. I think Jack in the Box, when we did our original tier list way back in the day, I think that was the one I hadn't really had, but I've had that enough since then that all the major ones I think I've had at least once or twice, and Five Guys is pretty low on that list.
Yeah, I was disappointed in Five Guys because, to quote the man Dame Drops, he said, "You bite the fry bites back, my man." They did not bite back, my man. They were just kind of mid.
I don't know why that got me so much, but that did.
I don't know why that one got you either. That's one of the worst things I've said.
I think that's why.
Have you seen that video? I must have shown it to you at some point.
No.
Oh my god! All right, I'm not gonna.
If I have, I don't.
I'm not gonna make you watch it now. But this video lives in my head, rent free. Just absolutely iconic. Let's see if I come here. Can I go to? Nope. All right. So we're just gonna click on that. We're gonna hit pause, share, copy link, and then go to Nick. There you go. I sent that one to you.
Okay. Bobby, while I'm pulling this up, Bobby says Five Guys Cajun fries are really good. That's a fucking lie, Bobby. They're even worse. I had them once. It could have been a bad batch. It could have been a bad batch of fries, but I hated those. Those are regular Five Guys fries are totally edible, I think. They're bad by fast food fry standards, but they're still good. The Cajun fries, I could not eat. I had a couple of them, and I thought they were just terrible.
Not had the Cajun fries. I've had Five Guys once. I might, for for the purposes of the show, I might order Five Guys right now, and we might do
For
it.
the purposes of the show.
Yeah, I might order Five Guys tonight and just eat and taste their fries and see if they got any better.
Okay, so I'm waiting to watch this after the show,
Yes.
right?
I mean, you can watch it
Okay.
now and just give your live
Nah, probably not.
commentary of what you're thinking of it. Also, Harley replied.
Well, Harley said the original series movies are fine without the show. Next Gen are just generally blah even with the show. That's kind of what I've heard. First Contact is solid. If you really wanted to prep for it, just watch The Best of Both Worlds, two-parter. It's one of the better episodes anyway, and it's the only thing I could really see someone arguing you should see before it. Deep Space Nine is the best show. Watch it. Okay. Still not going to watch it, but that's interesting. I feel like
I've heard more about TNG.
Didn't hear.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah. Well, no, I feel like it used to be Deep Space Nine, at least from stuff I saw, was not highly regarded. I feel like that's something that's changed in the last 5-10 years in terms of, not in terms of how it's always been, but in terms of what I've actually seen. I've seen more people liking Deep Space Nine.
While we're on the topic of Star Trek, this got me thinking about they did a recent quote unquote reunion for Stand By Me with Will Wheaton and another actor. I can't remember his name. Right.
Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah, it was Jerry O'Connell. Right. So Will Wheaton, he was on Star Trek, played Wesley. Very tragic story. I don't know if you know about everything with Will Wheaton and his life. That was a rough upbringing, to tell you the least. Very manipulative parents, and then being on Star Trek.
He was a child actor, so.
Yes, that's the main thing. But being on Star Trek kind of just broke him because of how badly they treated Wesley. Anyways, all this to say, have you ever heard of the Will Wheaton Project?
Maybe.
All right, so the Will Wheaton Project was a show on Sci-Fi that was essentially The Soup, but for nerds.
Okay. Now, timing-wise, was this after his Big Bang Theory appearances started?
Yes. So by this point...
Because that felt like his resurgence. That was where I learned who he was.
Yes. Yeah, maybe same. It might have been Will Wheaton Project for me, but yes, it was around that same time for me. But the Will Wheaton Project was a short-lived sci-fi series, lasted one season. I don't even think it lasted a dozen episodes. But it was essentially The Soup or Tosh.0, but for nerds. And they had a segment there called Skeletor Reads Mean Tweets. And they would have a voice actor for Skeletor read mean tweets. And then they'd riff off of each other. And that's one of the only things I remember about it.
Okay. I feel like I probably heard about this, but I never saw it.
Yeah. I could probably find it for you too. Not that you'll watch it. Let's see. Skeletor reads mean tweets. Hey, would you look at that? It's the first thing right there. Just looking at that set brings me back to being in middle school and watching these episodes on YouTube in my room late at night.
Let's see when this is uploaded. Bobby, this was a video from summer 2014. It brings Manny back to being in middle school. Just wanted to mention that for you there, Bobby.
That was 7th grade.
I will also look at this after the show. 7th grade for you? That was between sophomore and junior year for me, if it was summer 2014. Yeah.
Yeah, summer 2014. It was a week before my birthday. So yeah, I was 13. No, I was 12. I was 12!
He was 12.
The fact that it actually works is kind of weird.
Yeah. The last thing I remember about Will Wheaton was that he defended Chris Hardwick and then he turned off all his social media.
He's back on socials.
That was the last thing I remember hearing from him. Oh, did he?
He's back. He's been back up for a while.
Okay. Haven't seen anything from him.
I was going through my Instagram to see who I was following and who my least interacted followers were, so I could the people I least interacted with that I followed, so I could start unfollowing a bunch of people. And Will Wheaton was there, and I was like, yeah, I haven't seen anything from him in a while. And he had uploaded that day, and then the day before, and a couple times throughout the week. And I'm like, oh, okay, he's active. I know that he's back. He did take a lot of time off because of mental health and stuff. He has a book. I know that maybe a year ago, maybe even later than that, he did an episode of My MB Alex podcast that she has, which is another good podcast. Don't agree with her vaccine take, but it's a good podcast.
Those two together, not sure. Not sure I like the vibes there.
Yeah. No. Yes, don't agree with her vaccine takes, but she isn't. I do like listening to her talk. It shows that she's...
I've never really heard her talk. I haven't seen her on Jeopardy either.
I mean, you saw Big Bang Theory, so you have heard her talk.
Yeah. Well, not as a person.
I like what Harley said. Harley said Nick won't watch Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, Harley, that's it.
That's funny.
You got me, Harley. You got me. That's my only reason for not watching a third tier. Or I shouldn't say third tier. It's the third Star Trek show to come out. I didn't mean as third tier, as in lesser.
Bobby said I graduated my master's in 2014. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bobby.
How does this make you feel, Bobby?
How does me being young make you feel?
We've never talked about this before, Bobby. How does that make you feel?
Other than old. Because I am the youngest
it's funny.
In almost every group I'm in.
Yeah. In front of the show, Max's group, you're not. But in ours, you absolutely
Of the main group, I am the... No. I'm not. I'm older than one person. But of the main group...
Yeah, I know one person that you're older than, at least. Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Spider, because I don't really count Spider. Spider, I love you, but I'm not talking about you.
You don't count Spider.
Fourth show, Nick. Star Trek the Animated Series was before TNG.
You're right. I'm so sorry, Harley. I'm a fucking
also
buffoon.
3 seasons.
That's what I am. Richard graduated high school in 2014. So you're a couple years older than me. You're 2 years older than me, Richard.
When did I graduate? 2019? So my brother's 7 years.
I don't know.
So my brother graduated 2 years before. 2 years before that? A year before? When did I graduate? I graduated... I was in 7th grade. If he's 7 years older than me... He's 7 years older than me.
If he's 7 years older than you, he graduated in 2012.
Right?
Yes.
I think. I don't know. I don't remember when I graduated.
Which means I think Arcadia also graduated in 2012, and Elena, and they were talking about how Tonight by Fun was the anthem of their graduation.
And the fact that you don't like that song.
It's not that the song is terrible, but it just got so overplayed. I liked it for a little while, and then a year later I was still hearing it, and I was like, this is too much. Same with the other big song they had, which I don't even remember the name of right now, but that's the one. Yeah, it got way overplayed too.
I actually liked Fun.
That one, yeah. That song. Okay, I was gonna go on a wrestling act.
Oh my god. Of course, it all leads back to wrestling.
That song played. Okay, that song played in the preview video for the huge Rock versus John Cena match in 2012 when The Rock came back to wrestle. That's all I was gonna say. Tonight by Fun.
Bobby said, not Bobby. Harley said, Bobby's playing the solo from Pink Floyd's Time right now to work out his angst again about Manny's rage and Manny's age. Wow, I could not say that sentence.
It's funny because I know you said that you don't care, Bobby, which I know you don't. But it's funny because Pete's older than you. I think Pete's the oldest of our main crew, and I feel like Bobby is way more sensitive about feeling like he's older than Pete is.
I mean,
Bobby and JB, who I think you're both from the same year.
Really?
Bobby and JB.
Why do I feel like JB's younger?
I'm pretty sure they've talked about this many times.
So too.
Sure they're both born the same year. Yeah.
When you say it, I'm like, I think they've talked about it before, but it doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, I'm young. That's the main thing, is that I'll say something.
Manny's young.
And everyone will be like, stop it, you're making me feel old because you said it that way. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
I feel like you feel older than me on this show because of all the internet stuff that you've been privy to that I'm not.
Yeah. That it's not that I feel
like
older.
Maybe you're more experienced in
Yes.
certain areas than I am.
Yeah.
I just realized being more privy to the internet makes me older is what like it would normally feel like. Or you being more privy to the internet than me Yeah, that's what I was
Yes,
trying to say.
it's weird. Yeah, JB and Bobby are the same age. Huh, interesting.
I graduated 5th grade. No, I'm Bobby.
Bobby, you got your master's in 5 years? Good for you.
Hell yeah, Bobby.
Hell yeah, Bobby.
Could you imagine going to grad school?
No, I'm done.
Absolutely not. I cannot do it.
Once I get my degree, I'm done.
Not that I was.
I don't want to pay
Yeah.
anymore.
Not that I was
I don't
ever.
want to be stuck in classrooms anymore. I don't want to have to see people anymore. I mean, like, I want to see people, but obviously, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. Not that I was ever going to, but my senior year, a couple of our GTAs, I talked to quite a bit in classes, and they pretty much told me, no uncertain terms, don't bother. At least as far as our program went, for being an academic, it's not worth it in terms of what you expect to get out of it.
No, I don't.
For paying for multiple more years of schooling and all that, like I think they get paid some for being a teacher assistant, but yeah, specifically if you're trying to be an academic and not be in production, it's not as lucrative.
No, being an academic in film school is kind of stupid. It's not stupid, but I mean, like,
it's not stupid. I feel like you get more credibility out the door, but I also feel like if you're going to be a writer, you can get enough with your bachelor's that you can go off to writing from there. I don't feel like, yeah. I don't know. And I also am not particularly educated on how all of that works, but yeah. Didn't seem like the path for me.
It's not the path for me either. I don't want to go get a master's degree for this and spend another 2 years here. Even though I'd still be graduating early compared to certain people, but...
Oh, look at you.
I'm graduating a semester early than I should, and a semester later than I want to.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's hard out here.
For a what? I was like, is he going to say
I'm not going to say it.
That movie you inexplicably want to do a commentary
Listen, we'll get to Hustle and Flow eventually. It's not at the top of my priority list.
Will we?
It's not at the top of my priority list. It'll be one of the later ones when we don't have anything to watch. We'll just say, all right, let's watch Hustle and Flow.
When I'm 40 and you're 37, we'll be like, all right, folks, it's Hustle and Flow time.
I hope we're dead by then. The Earth will probably be gone. Global warming will have already come into play.
In the next 15 years?
Yeah.
I mean, it will, but I don't think we'll be dead yet.
Maybe the robot uprising that I'm supporting will kill us all.
Yeah, I can't even... we've talked about it before. I can't even appreciate it from purely
I totally can.
We are built
Truly.
Different.
There are a lot of things that I can appreciate just because they exist. Robots, definitely one of them. I know Boston Dynamics is giving those robots to the military for research and stuff, but still, the balance that they have, the speed that they're going at, they're doing hops, they're doing backflips, Nick. They're doing backflips. That's so cool.
Okay. Not really, but okay.
No, I think that's awesome. And 3D printing is also cool, and I'm curious to see how the medical world is going to use that. Because I know that they've already started using it, but I want to see how widespread it can get. And all of the applications that they can get from it.
I have nothing to comment on this particular matter anymore.
It's not that I keep up with it and super hard, but I'll see it and then I'll be like, oh, that's really cool. And then I'll look a little bit more into it. But yeah, it's interesting to see.
No. You said interesting.
I want to be alive for a real life Gundam war. I mean, could you imagine? That'd be
no.
I'm chaotic, but
that's not cool or fun.
Cool.
No,
it'd be terrifying to just look outside your window and you see 2 giant Gundams just going at it. But at the same time, that's so cool that you can build something on that scale that you're controlling, and it's doing all that. I'm not insane. It's cool.
Are we sure? You're sounding like John Hammond over here. I'm just saying.
Listen, maybe Elon's onto something.
Oh dear.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not.
Damn it! I should have left that one clean. I'm sorry. It was funny. I think maybe last week you and Elena discovered that there's like, and I mentioned that there's like 3 different points in Moonfall where
Wait.
they are just unabashedly praising Elon. Like the lead character is like trying to science the shit out of it, and he's like, "What would Elon do?" And he's like, has WWED written down. What would Elon do? And he asks himself that a couple times throughout the movie. It's like, all right, guys, okay, this was clearly written 3 years ago.
I mean, Elon was cool. He was an
Well, he was better regarded than he is now. I don't know if he was cool and became uncool. I don't think I would say
I mean,
that.
the flamethrower era was pretty cool.
Speak for yourself.
Listen, you never wanted a boring gun?
A what?
Boring Company is the name of the company that he has for the flamethrowers.
I don't think I've ever seen his
Oh my
flamethrowers.
God. They look like a first order flame trooper. Let me see. The
Okay.
Boring Company flamethrower. It's a pretty cool looking flamethrower, I have to admit. Copy image, and boom, I just sent it to you.
Looks pretty boring to me. Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty cool looking flamethrower, though.
It looks like a fucking Nerf
Yeah.
gun. Nerf guns are inherently cheap.
I mean,
it doesn't look cool.
Yeah, was it the best flamethrower? Hell no. A lot of what Elon makes doesn't actually work, or doesn't work to the standard that he says it's going to work. That's not news. That's not anything like provocative to say.
Sorry, that's just a funny sentence. Was it the best flamethrower? Hell no. I don't know why. That sequence of words made me laugh.
Listen, I don't like Elon Musk. Okay? That's the main point.
He doesn't like Elon Musk. Joanne should burn in hell. What else we got tonight?
Look, see what Bobby said right there. Look at those Gundams right there. Tell me that wouldn't be cool to see.
Where am I looking?
Safari.
Oh, Safari Zone. Okay. No, that would not be cool to see.
That'd be awesome.
I'd be more concerned about my imminent demise than thinking, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, but like, imagine you get stepped on by a Gundam. That'd be pretty rad.
No.
Like, that would be a way to go out, is my thought on it. It's like, yeah, it's terrible I died, but I got killed by a Gundam. That's pretty freaking cool.
You know what this is? What? This is just your stick a fork in a toaster conundrum thought on the largest possible scale.
Listen, if I get to be like 98 years old and I'm still alive, I'm sticking a fork in a toaster.
Left that one clean. Okay. Nobody's perfect, folks. That's what we're learning.
Was it the best flamethrower? Hell no. Did it work sometimes?
Sometimes. You weren't trying to be funny there, but it was funny.
Don't they have a giant Gundam in Japan? They do.
Oh, man. Speaking of that, Shin Ultraman, I really need that to get a theatrical release here in the States. Desperately. I need to see that so bad. I want a new Shin movie every year from one character or another. I'm waiting for the next Shin Godzilla. I don't know what the other monsters they're making the movies for are yet, but I need more of them in my life.
Yeah, I'd be interested. Like, here, I'll post the photo on the stream. But like, you gonna tell me that doesn't look cool? Also, was I peeking this entire episode? Because if so, oh well.
I'll turn you down if you were.
Yeah, it looks like I was peeking this entire episode. Oof. Come here. Let me save it first. Save image as. Gundam. Okay, cool. And we'll come here. We'll change that. We'll go down to G. G, 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 G. Look at that.
I will see it in 7 seconds or so. Still waiting. Still waiting, actually.
Dang. Sorry to hear that.
There we go. Yep, that's a Transformer.
It's not a Transformer, it's a Gundam. There's a difference between the two.
One of them came from Japan. Is that the difference?
Gundams don't transform.
Oh, so sorry. They're just built different.
You hurt me sometimes.
Also, I'm sending you something. Do not open on the stream.
I will not open on the stream. Gundams are pretty cool.
More dead air. I love it.
So I'm seeing.
You were trying to wrap us up like an hour and a half ago.
Hold on. I need to put this photo up on the stream.
Does he?
So I'm seeing Olivia Rodrigo next month, and I'm really thinking about getting the Brian poster where it says, "So, have you heard this new Olivia Rodrigo track?" And putting Brian's face on there and just taking that with me, because I can.
Ah, that was a great moment. Also, my God, that quarantine hair.
Yeah. Harley says, look, Nick, if Gundam are cool enough for the guitar player of My Chemical Romance, they're cool enough for you. No, Harley, Nick doesn't like My Chemical Romance. So it means nothing to him.
No, I've just never listened to them.
It still means nothing to him.
I don't dislike them. I just don't care.
That's almost worse. Some of your takes, they do really hurt me.
It's not even take.
Yeah, you don't have a take.
Yeah.
It's the lack of a take that hurts. That's what it is.
I mean, would you want to hear what the actual take ended up being?
I mean, I don't know. You're so weird sometimes. Because you like Blink, but you don't like Fall Out Boy, so I don't think that you'd like My Chem.
Fall Out Boy's just obnoxious.
I mean, so is Blink to an extent, is my take. And I like Blink.
I don't feel it with them. I feel it with Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy has some good stuff that I've heard. The rest, he just sounds too whiny to me. Like, it's not even just the lyrics. I just don't like his voice.
Okay. I'm just saying. Fall Out Boy. I'm just saying, guys. Something. I'm just saying. Listen, were the last couple Fall Out Boy albums good? No. Were the first couple Fall Out Boy albums good? Yes. I don't even know if I said that last part correctly, but I'm going to assume I did and just move along with it. My Chem is...
If the last couple Fall Out Boy albums were bad, then that means Blink has the advantage currently.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't like the last couple Blink albums.
I'm not those people.
Exactly. Once again, music is subjective. Guys, let's turn this into a Rick Beato comment section. So everyone started becoming sexist, homophobic, racist.
Who? Who?
Sorry, I thought when you said that, I thought you said ooh, and I was like, Nick.
No.
You could totally clip that out and have you say ooh.
Who? What are you, fucking owl?
What are you, fucking owl? Legendary line. Every time that it's been used in the movie. Nick probably wouldn't like My Chem because he doesn't like Queen and My Chemical Romance. Basically, if Queen had a mental breakdown after listening to The Cure and the Misfits. Yeah, that's a fair way to describe it. You don't like Queen?
I shouldn't say that. I don't like their most popular songs generally. I like Somebody to Love, but like We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, Another One Bites the Dust, I don't really care for. And I haven't heard much beyond some of their biggest stuff.
Go listen to Bicycle Race. Go listen to I Want to Break Free.
Okay.
That's another good one right there. No, I don't. It's not that I don't like We Are the Champions. It's just that We Are the Champions was the anthem for my life from kindergarten through 8th grade because our school was the champions. So I'm like, I've heard that song so many times. I mean, I still like the song in general. I'll still sing it out. But
well, they've got No Time for Losers, so I feel unwanted by Queen. I don't feel welcomed to listen to Queen after something like that.
I see. All right. You think we're good?
It's been 3 hours and we've been meandering for about 2 of them, so.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I enjoy these live shows because we can just kind of talk about random shit, but also there's moments of dead air that I feel like are absolute hell to listen to on a podcast feed.
I agree. Which is why I don't like live shows.
Yeah, but it also saves me 10 hours of editing.
It does. That's gonna be it for us, guys. We're a little bit tired. I wanna hear Nick's reaction to the videos that I sent him, so I'm gonna stay on that call for that one. But I hope you guys have a good one and have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.